frustration you must have if you're Big E, right? Because they're now 5 competitors. And you just said, it came out naturally. One of those competitors. Yeah. It really should be one of those competitors. He is the WWE champion, but when you have a fatal 5-way ball, you now have 5 different guys who all have the same shot, and one of those guys. Yeah, let's be involved to finish to lose the championship. Exactly. I never liked a 3-way, I never liked a 4-way, I never liked any of these matches like this because, to me, that championship should not be lost. When you're the champion, you feel that way. As WWE Universe, I freaking love it. I think this made this one of the best main events I have seen in WWE. You had the Beast, Brock Lesnar, this.
Anything happen. We're going to talk more about that match here a little bit. But let's run back down all of the other incredible matches that are going to be tonight. You know, Liv Morgan has been fighting her way for this moment. She has an eye on her first singles title in WWE. But the question is it her moment? Will she be able to overcome big-time Bex? We'll see the battle out tonight for the Raw Women's Championship.
How about the Raw Tag Team Championship? The champs Arcade Bro taking on the winners of the Arcade Tournament, the Street Profits.
And you hear the song playing right now. We're in their city of Atlanta. We have a special appearance by one of the greatest hip-hop groups ever. Talking about Flamingos in the building tonight, day 1.
And two of the most decorated tag teams in WWE history will collide here tonight. Once again, hope is on the line. The New Day are taking on the Usos for those SmackDown Tag Team Champions.
Let's be honest here. Not Boss and Happy Corbin. Well, they've been wrecking the head of Drew McIntyre. The SmackDown Warrior gets his opportunity one-on-one with Madcap Moss tonight.
There are a million ways that you could describe this match, but one way I know we will describe it in the future is a couple of Hall of Famers who went to war. Yes, the current Hall of Famer, Edge, taking on the future Hall of Famer, The Miz, with his Mike Maurice.
We the Ones is day 1 in 2022. Happy New Year, and thank you for tuning in and listening. As always, I'm your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Cool and Luke 96. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below with that thumbs up button. Share hashtag WWE, hashtag WWE Day 1. Chat questions and comments, super chat, super stickers. Always greatly appreciated. WWE Day 1. Live watch along reactions live right here on YouTube, as WWE is billing this event as the first premium event of the new year. Bullshit it is. We currently have ongoing a full day of January the 1st College Football Bowl games, along with the NHL Winter Classic that is knotted up at 1 apiece. But I'll digress. Once again, though, Happy New Year. As tonight we have 2 Tag Team Championship matches, a Raw Tag Team Championship match with the Raw Tag Team Champions of Randy Orton and Matt Riddle, otherwise known, of course, as RK Bro, as they'll defend against the Street Profits. The SmackDown Tag Team Championships will also be defended here tonight. Jimmy and Jey Uso, the Usos, will defend against the New Day. It will be Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, with Big E as your WWE Champion, defending in that championship match, which we'll get to in a second, that has some breaking news as of late, so stay tuned. Also tonight, we'll have a few singles matches with really nothing on the line, including this one. This will be a squash match. This will be a 8-10 minute match at best, in which Drew McIntyre is going to be the winner of, taking on Riddick Moss, now known as Matt Cat Moss, whatever you want to call him, with Baron Corbin, Happy Corbin, ringside. Corbin and Moss, the past, however long it's been now, 4 or 5 months. Honestly, yeah, they're doing their job as a heel duo, not even necessarily a tag team. But they've gotten very annoying very quick. And I'd be interested to see, honestly, how much longer they're going to play that out for. I mean, tonight they might do something in that regard. I highly doubt it, because with this recent COVID surge, with a lot of talent, whether they're wrestling or not, or even being used or not, on TV. The card tonight is very slim. I'm expecting, I mean, as usual, 2.5, 3 hour show at the max. They'll find a way to space it out and keep us intrigued till the end with the main event. That's now a fatal 5-way WWE Championship match. And once again, we'll get to that in a second. But, and that's going to include, of course, with all the entrances, the video package that we'll see, whether it be a in-ring or backstage interview or a promo. Yeah, they give us the breaking news from about 2 hours or so ago now. And they're going to run this video package. So they had to put this together real quick. Recently, I would expect to air it now, nonetheless. But, Migos is also going to have an appearance. I don't know if they're actually going to perform by any means, or if it's just going to be something like, potentially help even with the 24/7 championship now that I think about it. Just for the hell of it, to get that on the card. Because like I said, this card is, there's a few good matches, no doubt about it, but it's slim pickings, it is. Very disappointing to say the least with not necessarily how they've built it to be, but no December pay-per-view. Here we are, New Year's Day, January the 1st, 2022. And I get, your hands are tied, and you got to do what you got to do. But at the end of the day, look back on it. I highly doubt this is going to be a good show. I just have a feeling that probably 2, maybe 3 of these 6, 7 matches, we decided one on the kickoff pre-show there, only that many to be very good. Everything else just subpar, below average. That it's like, come on, man, like, what the hell? But only time will tell. We'll see what happens. But yeah, 2 tag team championship matches mentioned. McIntyre in singles action. The Raw Women's Championship will also be defended. It'll be the man, big time Becky Lynch, after she returned at SummerSlam, has held a title and now the Raw Women's Championship ever since, of course, she won the SmackDown Women's Championship, and then with the draft they switched up some titles with some talent, with, of course, superstars, wrestlers, whatever you want to call them, being drafted from, say, Raw to SmackDown, or vice versa, SmackDown to Raw, or even some NXT call-ups. And of course, NXT is not what it used to be, and I have no idea, because I haven't watched since they switched to 2.0 by any means, what the hell is going on down in the Sunshine State. But they're just north in Hot Atlanta here tonight, the ATL, State Farm Arena, Atlanta, Georgia, for WWE 1 here this evening on the WWE Network on Peacock. So once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. Edge and Miz will be in a singles match as well. I'd expect one of the tag team championship matches, along with the Raw Women's Championship match, or even the Edge Miz match, to kick off the show. If Becky, Liv, along with Edge, Miz does not, one of those two is going to be the co-main event. The other probably somewhere in the middle of the show. But the main event of the evening, as it is pretty predictable, to be honest with you. My picks, RK Bro, Usos, Drew McIntyre, Becky Lynch, and Edge, all to win tonight. The Fatal 5-Way WWE Championship match now, as originally, at first, following Survivor Series right before Thanksgiving. Hopefully everyone had a happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year now that we're in 2022. But originally, remember, it was only supposed to be Big E and Seth Rollins in singles action. Then Kevin Owens was inserted to make a triple threat. Then Bobby Lashley beat all three of them to make it a fatal four-way. Brock Lesnar, the Beast Incarnate, has since returned once again. And he was supposed to face the big dog, Tribal Chief, who sits at the head of the table, who we should all acknowledge in the Universal Champion Roman Reigns tonight for that Universal Championship. But because Roman Reigns has tested positive for COVID-19 and protocols, he's not wrestling tonight. So who knows how long Reigns is going to be out on SmackDown. So rather than two single championship matches with the WWE and Universal Championships, as they say, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Now the warning, and then the opening video package for WWE Day 1 with the then, now, forever together WWE. And then highlighting what's to come tonight, WWE Day 1, to kick off 2022. So, rather than Big E Rollins, and rather than Big E Rollins Owens, and rather than Big E Rollins Owens Lashley, because of no Roman Reigns Brock Lesnar championship match tonight, Brock Lesnar is still going to be on the show. Reigns, of course, not. Make it a fatal five-way. Lesnar challenging for the WWE Championship here tonight on WWE Day 1 against the champion of Big E, Mr. Nickname and Seth frickin' Rollins, the prize fighter himself, and Kevin Owens, and the almighty Bobby Lashley. And with this fatal five-way now, it was a coin flip to begin with. It's even more so than not now. I have no clue, no idea who they're going to have win this match. But it is a new year. It's a new opportunity as they have Migos give us the opening video package. And, it honestly, like I said, on paper, very average card. Disappointing to say the least. But, their hands are tied. What can they do? I'm still expecting, though, in the end, an average show. But, it's not going to be, anything major, like I said. 2, maybe 3 good matches tonight, and then that's it. So, as always, we'll see what gives. I'm sure, as always, something will. But WWE Day 1, because of no December pay-per-view, and then here in a few short weeks, also on a Saturday, now that we're here in 2022, WWE going to roll out Saturday and Sunday pay-per-views. So depending on the schedule, just be sure to subscribe. But the Royal Rumble's at the end of the month now, and then we'll be on the road to WrestleMania, of course. WrestleMania 38, early April, back to a 2-night event, as it should be, as we move into the future. AT&T Stadium, North Texas and Arlington, home of the Dallas Cowboys. 6 years following last time they were there for shows, but we'll see what happens tonight, and then build towards the Rumble. They're gonna have a pay-per-view in February or March sometime, if not at least 2 of them, because one's going to be over in the desert of Saudi Arabia, if I'd have to guess. And that would, I would think, be Super Showdown, because that's normally in the spring, early summer. And then Crown Jewel, of course, has been in the fall, late October, early November. And then, who knows what pay-per-view is going to be just prior to WrestleMania, because they've switched that I don't know how many times the past few years. It's either this or that, or hell, it might even be something new, because this is a brand new pay-per-view here tonight for the first time ever. WWE Day 1, following the opening video package. We got some pyro, and both commentary teams, of course, are on SmackDown with Jimmy Smith, Corey Graves, and Byron Saxon, along with Michael Cole and Pat McAfee. Happy New Year. And bullshit, my ass it is, Michael Cole. This is not the first premium event of the new year. You can just fuck off. Go fuck yourself. Talk about a company man. He's done a lot, but just no. Yeah, they're going to give us the rundown of what happened with Reigns. Right at 6 o'clock. Go check the tweet. I doubt it was right at 6 o'clock. That's sort of around the same time, though, when the news broke. At least when I got my notifications, and I'm like, oh shit. Like, you know, this was at least thought to happen with somebody, potentially with the card to change, but not the tribal chief. But because he has COVID, he's probably running around naked on his island now. But yeah, rather than a fatal 4-way, it's going to be a fatal 5-way WWE Championship match, and that'll be our main event here tonight. Not unless, of course, it's going to kick off the show, which I don't know why the hell it would. But yeah, so they say. In my opinion, everybody has their own opinion. Yeah, it's going to be the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match kicking off the show. And representing the Bloodline, it's Jimmy and Jey Uso, the Usos. They'll defend and hopefully defeat Kingston and Woods, the New Day, here to kick off day one. But no, there's a lot of other sporting events on right now. Believe me. We're just hitting stride right now. They can, you know, rev up the engine, so to speak, and get on the road to WrestleMania, but there's still a lot going on, and yeah, this is definitely not the first premium event of the new year. Ask your mom, and she'll tell you that answer, but I mean, man, they got some nerve saying that. I mean, I get you gotta, you know, promote your product and make it sound good, but when we all know it's been shit as of late to an extent, you know, minus a few things here or there. I mean, come on now. Like, anything for business, right? Anything with money on the line. But, yeah. It'll be the Usos and New Day to kick off WWE Day 1 here this evening. So as they're down since, well, Day 1, they're going to defend their titles here at Day 1 against the man who shouldn't have won King of the Ring. And Xavier Woods, but however he did back at Crown Jewel in October. And talk about Corbin and Moss getting annoying. Well, here you go. That's really not saying a lot to this. I mean, I get, you know, they're trying to be funny and you're trying to do this or that, but, like, the New Day is not the New Day without the three of them together. And they're split, of course, on Raw and SmackDown. And, I mean, all three will be in action tonight because it's a pay-per-view. And, you know, they don't have brand respective pay-per-views anymore. Everything's, you know, crossover. And in my opinion, I mean, Reigns is the king because whether he won it fair and square, he was wearing Woods' crown, was he not? It's a rhetorical question. Yes, he was. And, you know, like, they sort of, I don't even know how you want to put it, but did that, but then they backtracked on it, and then Woods in the end just got a new crown anyway, to make it as if that never happened, when we all know it did. That's the thing. They try to make us forget when, you know, they think they're smarter than us when really, I mean, if you're watching and you are knowing what's going on, at least you have some sense of, not necessarily what they're trying to do, but just, and not even necessarily how good or bad it is, because everybody has their own opinion, and I get it. You got to respect that, but just, they act as if we don't know, or, we forget everything. But they don't care. They're going to do whatever the hell they want. They're $1 billion business, for God's sake. So, it'll be the Usos and New Day here to kick off the show as they raise the titles in the air. Seems like a good crowd. I don't know necessarily sold out by any means, but regardless of how many people are there, we'll see how into it they get and if it's going to be a hot crowd or not. But all hail King Woods. No, I'll turn around and walk the other way, and you can behead me all you want, but that's the thing with the King of the Ring. I mean, Woods, he didn't even need it. They gave it to him, give him something to run with. He sort of begged for it on up, down, but, when you have a Prince in the match, you would think it would make sense to have him win to become king, right? But no. Balor just, he's just been floating around, I guess you could say, ever since. We've done a whole lot. We'll see what happens here. We'll see how many times Michael Cole or Jimmy Smith's going to say that Roman Reigns is not competing now tonight. So I have the count at less than 10 right now, but don't be surprised if that doubles here in the next half hour or so, or hell, even at the end of the night be 10 times more than it should be. But man, just with the Usos, okay, you got Jimmy and Jay. One's a bitch, or nobody's bitch, and one's the right-hand man. Really, to be honest with you, Woods and the King of the Ring, whenever they're going to run with it, it doesn't have to be now, because they could play it out for however long they want to. As we see an attack ringside there, ref didn't see it. Because, of course, Kofi and Big E have won the WWE Championship before. Woods with the King of the Ring crown, but no title other than, hell, I don't even think he's won a mid-card title. He's always been a tag team champion. I could be wrong. I'm uncomfortable if I am. But, as Usos continue to beat up on the New Day here early in this opening match of WWE Day 1, I always just refer back to the booking because that's where it all starts. But, at the end of the day, they're still going to do what they want anyway. And, not a bad job putting the show together. But, yeah, we the ones, as mentioned at the start, this Day 1 in 2022 for WWE Day 1, as the Bloodline is still being represented here. And, especially with no Reigns on the show, at least we have the Usos, and damn well they're going to win now because 9 times out of 10, I remember there have been a few instances in which they both probably should win, whether the titles are on the line or not. But then, as Reigns has always retained the past year and a half, it's not like they said because damn well they want to do it. They could have came out and said, though, he has to forfeit his title now because he can't wrestle and he has COVID. Well, it might get to that point if he's going to be out for a while, because you're going to have to do something with that Universal Championship. But then that gives Reigns a reason to come back and win it. But I can guarantee you that. That is not going to happen anytime soon unless it absolutely has to. So you can bet your bottom dollar on that. So, Uso chant. And, yeah, they give them the rear view, corner to corner. We the ones, so throw them up. Say it with me. We the ones. Got to acknowledge Reigns, Usos, Baby Us, and the Bloodline. But, yeah, crowd seems into it right now. Still a lot of match and a lot of show to go, but okay, we're gonna have a tag made there. Kofi's struggling and a super kick. So Usos in full control right now, and this is a tag team championship match. So if the Usos lose clean, 1, 2, 3, New Day is going to be your new SmackDown tag team champions, but I doubt that'll happen just because, like I said, Reigns is not on the show now. So the Bloodline's going to have to win one or another, and it's the Usos because nobody else is on the show. The Usos, along with Paul Heyman, potentially could get involved in the Fatal 5-Way now, screw over Lesnar if they want to keep that going. And we'll get more into that match a little bit later on because there's, as I still don't know, but there are a few possibilities that I'm still thinking about in my head, and that's why I haven't said anything yet. We have time before that match does in fact begin anyway. So I'm going to hold off and relay that info later. There's a few possibilities for the outcome there. But as the Usos are still in control here, Kingston up on the top rope. Going to give him a vertical suplex, it looks like, off the top rope. Ohio State in the Rose Bowl. Going to tie it up against Utah at 38 apiece with another 10 minutes to play. So, this big DDT there off the reversal. Yeah, he did, Michael Cole. Thank you. No, but premium or first premium event of the new year. No, that's just to promote. That's to get people talking. That's to get viewership because all you care about is ratings. If you actually had a good product, you wouldn't have to worry about that. People would actually watch. So double tag, and as Woods is legal, nice big clothesline, and then Us 1, Us 2 from behind, and they'll go for a drop kick to the back of the head. Woods will to Jey Uso. Jimmy legal in the ring. They both go off the ropes, and then another DDT. No, nice back body drop, and now the New Day is in full control. So we've switched. We're at that point. I would think here, soon as he pulls them in, that, we're going to be going home here shortly. We're already almost 20 minutes or so in. And nice kick out there at 2.5 to keep this match alive. But, see if we get a replay of that. We will. Okay. Yeah, just simple bomb there, and as he throws them down, kick out. Woods with a drop kick through the ropes, and then now fighting on the top of the announce table. So Jimmy in the ring, got a half black, half red hairdo. So Jimmy Uso, Xavier Woods, your legal competitors. Jesus Christ, what the hell is that? 1, 2, kick out at 2.5. Looked like some sort of splash. I don't know if he got it the whole way or what, but it connected. And see if we get a replay of that. We won't because we'll get a tag. So Jay, the right-hand man, tags in with that right hand of his. And now Samoan drop. And where's Kofi at this whole entire time? Cover 1, 2, and a kick out at 2.5. Yeah, where the hell's Kofi Kingston? He's probably laying ringside somewhere, but
In the home of the Atlanta Hawks and Trae Young, I believe that's called the alley-oos.
the alley oos, says Pat McAfee.
Oos.
That's a good one.
We got the big oos here.
You got to give McAfee credit. He's damn good at his job. He is. He's absolutely hilarious, too. Him and, for the most part, all the boys. But nice right forearm there. Woods with the right hand on a reversal. So, boo, yay from the crowd.
Jay asked for that. Here we go with a good old classic.
And we do have a classic ongoing. I wouldn't necessarily say it's this match. I'd say it's the 2022 Rose Bowl with Utah and Ohio State, tied at 38 with 10-12 to play, but I'll digress. Utah has only scored 3 points this second half. They're up 35-21 at halftime. Kofi off the top rope, cover 1, 2, and a kick out 2.5. So Ohio State's, beat up on them in this third and fourth quarter. Still got 10 minutes to play, though, but we're tied at 38 in the Granddaddy Mall. And then the Winter Classic back from intermission, still tied at 1. Sugar Bowl still to kick off here coming up about a half hour or so. But here tonight, thank you for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. Hit the thumbs up button. Share hashtag WWE, hashtag WWE Day 1. Check questions and comments, super chats, super stickers. Always greatly appreciated. So New Day rocks, New Day sucks. And then, Kofi was going to go for a maneuver there, and then a super kick hit, and then a frog splash off the top rope. Usos cover 1, 2, kick out at 2.5. That should have been it, but he kicked out. Match ongoing. This will continue for the time being, but
Gable Stevenson, Olympic gold medalist, is sitting front row. He thought
he is. Where's he at again? I didn't see him. He was at, what show was that? He was at a Monday Night Raw a couple weeks ago because they were in the land of 10,000 Lakes, where they are once again tonight in the Twin Cities for this Winter Classic. This is awesome chant now from the crowd, but they say Gable Stevenson is in fact front row, which I don't know if he is or not. I mean, if he is, I didn't see him. I'm sure they'll pan to him at some point in time. Like I said, I feel, with all the matches that they have, they'll have probably as many fillers, if not more, to fill the show with, how slim it is with just everything ongoing. But, once again, like I said, their hands are tied. What can they do? They got to do something. Got to do sometimes. So, submission locked in. Kofi's gonna try to grab that bottom rope, which he does. Rope break. So he'll have to break the hold and let go. And Usos do, so.
Screaming something, especially because I live on the internet. But what these people said in State Farm Arena just moments ago is nothing short of 100% accurate. This is awesome. I can't believe I get to be here to watch this.
This is awesome. Tag made. Could be better. At least this match here will get the crowd into it. This, along with the other tag team championship match and the women's match, and along with, Edge and Miz, and then the Fatal 5-Way championship match. Those, in no particular order, those are going to be your good matches. No offense to the others I didn't name off, but, I mean, come on now. Quick roll-ups, kick-outs, and DDT. No, an SOS, cover 1, and a kick out. That was quick.
The New Day just hit the Usos with like a 10-piece. Stairs
there's going to be better matches tonight than this. I can guarantee you that. Especially for the Fatal 5-Way, if they give them time and allow them to do what they're capable of doing. Woods off the top rope and kicks him right in the face. Cover on Jey Uso, 1, 2, kick out 2.5. The way, of course, you can tell the Usos apart as identical twins. Jay has the short hair, Jimmy has the longer hair, and of course it's 2 colors, so it's not hard to miss. But yeah, they show a replay of him getting kicked in the face. We actually earlier on the kickoff pre-show had Sheamus and Ridge Holland, and Ridge, it looked like he broke his nose. There was blood all over the place as they took on Cesaro and Ricochet, and I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, won the match. Really wasn't paying a whole lot of attention to it with everything else ongoing, and of course getting ready here tonight for this stream for this WWE pay-per-view, following the stream for college football earlier today. But now here we are tonight, and once again, thank you for tuning in and listening. So, double super kick from the Usos, and now a cover, or are they going to go up and hit the splash again? They'll make another tag in the meantime, and they'll actually go to the other corner, and they'll hit a double frog splash on Kofi, who's going to move, and Woods is going to get involved here one way or another, probably too. No, he doesn't move, surprisingly. They hit the double splash. This is going to be it. Cover 1, 2. Actually, Woods does break it up, so this match will continue. Yeah. All you have to do is hide ringside out of camera view for a little bit, and then right when you need to hit your cue, run in and break it up, which he does. So they're really working the replays, and there's our first aerial shot from the back of the arena towards the entrance, with the ring, of course, in the middle. Saw both of these tag teams about 2 months or so ago now, maybe a little longer. They're going to go at it now, fight in and out of the ring, brawling, and there's a super kick. But yeah, recently, of course, I've attended some pro wrestling events, so videos from all right here on the YouTube channel, so be sure to go check them out. Should be in the wrestling along with the concert event playlist, so be sure to go check them out. Cover 1, 2, 3, and Usos do in fact win and retain their SmackDown Tag Team Championships here at WWE Day 1 over the New Day and Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, as they save Woods because he's the king. Kofi takes the pin, and as thought, the Usos do win. So just like Reigns, they're not going to be losing them anytime soon. But they'll lose, unless they all lose them at once, like the same night, or within like a week apart of each other. The Usos will lose their tag team championships way before Reigns will. But to make the bloodline look as strong as you possibly can, you're going to want them all draped in gold. And that's, a possibility at some point in time, too. Once again, with the Hurt Business, it seems like back together. Bobby Lashley would once again win the WWE Championship. Of course, you have Shelton and Cedric, by his side with MVP at the helm, calling the shots. RK Bros going to break up as your Raw Tag Team Champions at some point in time. I don't think it's going to be tonight. I think they'll do something around the Rumble, if not at that show, or hell, even in the match, for God's sakes, at the end of the month. Because they're going to split. They'll lose the titles, and I do believe it'll be Orton and Riddle in a singles match at WrestleMania come April, but we're going to get more into that a little bit later on. Because then you could have the Street Profits whether they're going to take him off tonight or, whenever it's going to be. Okay, next in line, Hurt Business back together. Just even after this RK Bro tournament, and you have the Mysterios also in the finals. Well, yeah, they'll probably be splitting sometime too. If not, okay, they keep them together and they get a title shot, but maybe that's when they break them up though too, because they haven't, of course, father-son seen eye to eye in how long, but so I mean, I really don't think Lashley later on tonight's going to win the title anyway. If they'd have Lesnar win, and this is all off the top of my head because I really haven't had time to think about it because the news just broke. We're live right now, and it's breaking news to everyone that Reigns isn't going to be wrestling because of COVID. And hell, when COVID first hit, we all know with Roman Reigns, saw it happen there. He backed out of Mania 36, of course, with his leukemia, and he didn't return until SummerSlam a week later. He won the title at Payback, and he hasn't lost it since. So, that could get interesting. But if they'd have Lesnar win, of course, they could unify the titles, which I doubt they're going to be doing. I mean, it would make probably the most sense right now, just with everything going on, to play it safe and have Big E retain. I've gone back and forth. Hell, when it was a singles match and then triple threat with Big E and Rollins, and then Big E, Rollins, and Owens, and then Lashley gets into it, which he doesn't need the title anyway, but they're making him out to be an unstoppable force, the Almighty One himself. We're going to go backstage with an interview, see who we got. It will, in fact, be Big E. I'm sure him along with Rollins, two competitors tonight, but both big Iowa Hawkeye fans aren't happy with the outcome from earlier in the Citrus Bowl against Kentucky by any means, but Big E interview now, backstage, WWE Day 1, but I think it's just going to depend on how probably the first half of that match goes to get a feel of, what direction they're going to go. Big E says, line them all up. I'm going to knock them all down. I don't care who you put in front of me. I'm going to retain my title. And those are some fighting words from the champion. He's going to find a way. That's all it takes. Just find a way to retain and win and walk out still your WWE champion, no doubt about it. Big E, of course, won the Money in the Bank and then cashed in early September on Lashley and has held the title ever since. So Lashley, of course, coming for some payback there. We're going to go back-to-back with the interviews. We got Kayla Braxton with Migos now. And as I guess this is going to be their special appearance. I don't know if they're going to perform by any means tonight or what, but, they could add that in and, fill some time there too if they want to, because in the end they're going to still do how they want anyway, so. They just want to have some fun. I'm sure they want to have some fun there, Kayla. No. With Big E and Rollins, I thought Rollins would win. Of course, he's been battling COVID, though, too. But then, Owens gets into it. I'm a big Kevin Owens fan. Have KO win. Plus, then afterwards, he re-signs. So it's a little hard, not to have Owens win, you would think. But potentially have him win the Rumble. I think Riddle is going to win Money in the Bank come July. I do. At first you pencil him for the Rumble, but knowing him and Orton are going to split, that's not going to happen. Not unless Orton's going to, win the WWE title, beforehand, and then Riddle becomes WWE champion at Mania. which of course they can still do, but that's highly unlikely. You save it, you hold off, you build it up, you keep people on the edge of their seat. Boos from the crowd for Corbin and Moss, and rightfully so. Talk about annoying and atrocious. By God, Jesus Christ. Winner, more like loser. And this is going to be a squash. McIntyre's going to beat him up. Corbin's going to get involved one way or another. Hell, when was it? Last week? Sure as hell wasn't last night because there wasn't even a SmackDown. It was just a recap show from the year. Which, even on New Year's Eve, that's still a shame. Any other time, you're wanting to go up against major competition. Why not have a show? But they're having this show tonight, so, you sort of got to take the good with the bad and do what you got to do, especially with everything ongoing once again. So Corbin going to cut a promo in the meantime. No, but he got dumped with, whether it was cum or eggnog last week, I don't know. He probably enjoyed it, though. And, so Madcap Moss with another stupid ass fucking joke. Like, dude, shut the fuck up. Why haven't you been cut yet? Why have not you been fired? No offense, you don't want to see anybody lose their job, but he is one in particular for recent releases the past year and a half, 2 years, that how the hell is he still with the company? Especially with the people they have released, let alone keep his sorry ass. What the hell? They think this is funny? No, I said earlier, because it's true, they're doing their job. They're heels. This is their character. This is how they're supposed to be. It's professional wrestling. It's storytelling, folks. So, Moss saying he's going to beat Drew, more like the other way around, but no, just, dude, what the hell? And I feel so bad for Corbin. I mean, his shit over the summer with him being, broken, all that shit was 10 times funnier than this. But Corbin's that one. He can go from, being the long-haired bass player in a heavy metal band to, a waiter at a restaurant to a fucking king, and now he's whatever the hell you want to call Corbin. He's annoying, but that's his job. This is what he's supposed to do. He's more of a, I don't know, Gucci model at this point, for Christ's sake. Like, come on now. So, yeah, here comes McIntyre with his sword and all. Why don't you cut him up a little bit? Keep him off the road for a while. And then they figure out something to do with him, and then nothing, and then they fire him. Keep Corbin. Corbin's hilarious when it's going right. This, of everything he's gone through, this is the worst. Okay? No doubt about it. But McIntyre, who knows? He might be primed for another big year. I just saw a stat, I don't know when it was, recently. Whether it was today, yesterday, earlier this week. That he wrestled the most matches this year for the WWE. Total. Whether it be TV, house shows, pay-per-views, Drew McIntyre. Because at a point in time, remember this time last year, he was WWE champion. And then he lost it at Elimination Chamber to The Miz, who cashed in his Money in the Bank. And then Miz, a week later, lost it to Bobby Lashley. Lashley held it until he dropped it to Big E in September via another Money in the Bank cash-in, so those have been successful as of late. And now here we are with a fatal 5-way WWE Championship in the main event, still to come later on tonight. But who's Riddick Moss? Shane O'Mac doing his little fucking dance? No. Settle down, dude. Nice big right hand there. Now, in a headlock. As terrible as his jokes are, he has great size and strength. That's a line from Vince, if I've ever heard one. McAfee being told exactly what to say there. Yeah. I mean, that suspenders look ain't a bad look, no doubt about it. But, just, they're, supposed to be, McAfee's great on commentary, he is. No, as WWE 1 is trending #1 on social media, yeah, Corbin and Moss are supposed to be fashion icons, supposed to dress to impress, but and from what I heard too, whether it's true or not, that Corbin's supposed to be because Vince's stylist, did him up into what he is now. That's sort of not necessarily who he is or supposed to be, but at the same time, yes, to both of that. The comedy side too. That's the thing. Corbin, if you can play, different characters, just left and right, and be consistent in what you do, and be, as Drew's going to throw Moss from one side of the floor to the other, and now going to throw him back into the ring. As we're tied at 45 now in the Rose Bowl with a minute and change to play. The bad thing for Utah, Ohio State's getting the ball back with time and timeouts. Only needing a field goal to win it. My one big upset, if you listen to my college football bowl game, bowl season preview, was in fact in the Rose Bowl with Utah to beat Ohio State. We'll see how this finishes up, but a few replays of this match. If you're not one-dimensional, if you can do more than, one thing, whether it be all at once or, one after another, Corbin's right now, I think, that perfect example of, I'm trying to think of somebody from the past that, because I know there's a few of them, they went from being this person to that person to this person or that person. And, not by a nickname, by actual gimmick, by who they are, what they do, etc. So, I mean, if anybody comes to mind on your end, let me know in the comments below. But, I mean, they are giving this match some time. They're letting it play out, but very loud boos from the crowd because nobody gives a shit about this. And, I mean, like I said, you got to feel bad for Corbin. You got to feel even worse for Drew McIntyre, but if this is what it's going to take for McIntyre to get back on top, then so be it, because ever since he lost the title, yeah, he should have won it back a few times, but he never did. I mean, he's not necessarily floating around, but he's not doing a whole lot, I mean, he is, but he isn't. It just really depends on the night with what they're doing with him, with how the booking is, because you got to go back to that. But Corbin saying all day, the one thing I say, and you want to comment that, come on, man. So McIntyre, nice vertical suplex there off the ricochet off the corner. And now they're both down and out. But whether he should have won it back or not, in the end, he hasn't won it back. You know, I mean, hell, they haven't even given him a mid-card title run since then. You know, he's just not that guy or the guy, because we all know Reigns is the guy and he's not wrestling tonight, but like, I feel, now that I think about it a little bit, you know, McIntyre right now, from, you know, when he won the title, just as COVID hit, what was that, WrestleMania 36, almost 2 years ago now, inside the PC, before they went to the Thunderdome. You know, he held it for, what, almost a year. It's, I mean, I'm just going to use Kevin Owens as an example because it's just perfect. After you lose the title, and then you're just there in the mix, in the middle of it all, you know, they're doing stuff with it. You're on TV, you're wrestling, at least you're on TV. I mean, there's how many that aren't. But what's the purpose? What's the end goal? What's good going to come out of this, you know? I know there's a few others. He's just one that comes to mind recently because it's been, what, 5-6 years now? So, I mean, Moss isn't wrestling that bad of a match here. But just the fact nobody fucking likes him. But once again, they're supposed to be heels. This is their job. And then McAfee and Corbin bitching at each other. Yeah, go check out behind the scenes video of them two. And, you know, obviously that's just for script right there. That's for TV. Of course, they're best friends in real life. And, of course, Corbin's been on the Pat McAfee show before. And they both, I believe, when McAfee was young in his NFL career, not necessarily rookie, but, you know, first, second, third year, that Corbin was also part of the Colts for a time being before he landed in the desert with the Cards, if I'm not mistaken. But could be wrong on that. Let me know in the comments below once again if I am. But ever since, well, 5 o'clock today, it's been a good day. From noon to 5 and everything before, that's a good day as well. But from noon to 5, not so much earlier. You can go check out the previous stream for info on that. But hopefully you're enjoying your Happy New Year. You know, good show here. For the most part right now, but still got some shit. Still got some matches to go through here. Yeah. Have a comeback for Drew McIntyre in the works. When it even shouldn't even be like that to begin with. 3, 2, 1. He's gonna give us a count and take us to Claymore Country. And a reversal actually by Moss. Off the ropes, and then there's your Claymore cover. Why isn't Corbin getting involved? Does he not care either? Is he going to kick him to the curb? He should, because Moss just lost to McIntyre tonight at WWE 1. Drew McIntyre, your winner, 1, 2, 3. Rose Bowl, Ohio State. Gonna have one timeout. Tied at 45 still here. Only needing a field goal to win it. They're going to let this clock roll. And what a way for Utah to end up, you know, losing this. You know, having a, 35-21 lead, and then it's tied up 38. You got to tie it at 45. They're going to call their final timeout 12 seconds. They got a 2nd and 1 from about the 2. So not a goal to go, but all they need is a field goal. But, I mean, I wouldn't run it now. I don't know why the hell you just run the clock and kick it, and then you miss, you get overtime. Now you got to throw a fade or a slant over the middle and just hope not to get tackled in bounds. I mean, at least everybody's going to be in, the general area there of, a 10, 15-yard radius and nobody deep downfield because you're right there in the end zone, that you better be ready to get back and snap the football and spike it, clock it as fast as you possibly can, and make sure you have a few seconds left if you're lucky enough to attempt the field goal. That's right. Yeah, they probably should have ran the clock because they were tackling in bounds. It's not like the clock stopped because he tackled out of bounds and they called timeout on top of it. Because then you can run another play, you score, you don't even have to call your timeout. But in the meantime, WWE won on the WWE Network on Peacock. They fade to black following McIntyre's win over Moss here tonight. So once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. And in the meantime, Ohio State's going to kick it as it is from the right hash, officially from 19 yards out for the lead, not the win, but the lead. And the kick's up and good. Ohio State 48, Utah 45. Utes are going to have 9 seconds, which that might be one play if you get a decent return. They got 3 timeouts, but this is going to be a tough one for Utah to remember right here. Ohio State coming back and potentially winning the Rose Bowl again. But you got to give credit to the Buckeyes, though, too. They found a way in the end to come back and beat their opponent. So Sugar Bowl should be kicking off here shortly if it hasn't already. They might push it back to a 9 Eastern kick. But backstage on WWE 1, Kevin Owens about to get interviewed. Thank you, and thank you for tuning in and listening. Hence, of course, the black screen for audio only. Live watch, long reactions, live earnings too. But be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. We're going to have more tomorrow on the NFL and on Monday night for Monday Night Football and Monday Night Raw. So, yeah, Owens is complaining, rightfully so. At first, he wasn't even in it. But when he got in, it was on a triple threat. Then it became a fatal 4-way. Now it's a fucking fatal 5-way with Brock Lesnar in it because Reigns can't wrestle. It feels like they're going to interview everyone backstage, prior to this match, and then, go from there. But we'll see what happens. Okay. Owens has a few plan ideas. And then step 1, he sort of forgets, and now he's going to go talk to Seth Rollins. Ohio State wins Rose Bowl. Clock runs out on the kickoff return. As I don't know why I didn't go down and you get at least one play up. But OHIO script it, and Buckeyes win on a game-winning field goal with 9 seconds left? 48-45 over the Utah Utes. Some pushing and shoving. I mean, yeah, that has to be tough for Utah. Yeah, it has to be very frustrating to have won that game and then lose it right at the tail end of it. But it's a 60-minute game. And for the second time in 3-4 years, Ohio State's your Rose Bowl champions. So, good, and congrats to the Big Ten. Especially after, even after the 5-0 start, but 4 in a row with the 2 yesterday and the 2 earlier today. Of course, with Rutgers, Michigan, Penn State, and Iowa all losing. At least Ohio State just won. So they're going to finish, 6-4 in bowl season? I don't think they have any more games now. I'm still torn. I'm still going back and forth on it because there's still, so many possibilities to answer your question. I said earlier, I think I said a few weeks ago too, honestly. I don't remember. I've said a lot of shit. But haven't we all? That as we're getting a long commercial break here with WWE Network on Peacock, hopefully there's no entrances ongoing right now, but I don't believe so. I think there is. That when it was just Big E Rollins, give me Rollins. And then, Big E Rollins Owens, give me Owens because I like Kevin Owens, but I also like Seth Rollins, but still give me Owens. But then even on top of that, he re-signed, so, why not give him the title? But I'd feel better, or I feel like to make it better in the long run, because potentially he could win the Rumble now, among a few others, that, Owens ain't going to win here tonight, unfortunately. Lashley doesn't need it. And if Lesnar would win, they could unify the titles. If not, you got to get the title off him sometime before you give him back to Reigns on SmackDown. But if, Lesnar or Lashley would win, well, then that would set up potentially that match with those two at Mania. That whether the fans want it or they want it or not, really, in the end, how good of a match is it going to be? I mean, yeah, you got two cage fighters, squaring off, for a wrestling championship. So I don't know if that's saying much by any means or what. But I think the best bet, as the Street Profits come out, they're going to challenge RK Bro for the Raw Tag Team Championships coming up next. The best bet right now with everything going on. Because they only had Lesnar in to get him on the show, to say he's still going to wrestle, even though Reigns ain't. Yeah, Gable Stevenson is front row. He's hard camera side. That's why I didn't see him, because nobody's really gone that way. That would be for Big E to retain the title here tonight. I mean, because come April, if he's still champion at that point in time, that's an 8-month reign from September on. Lashley held it for 6. McIntyre held it for a little bit longer than that. Like, as we all hear voices in our head, that's average anymore, to be honest with you. It is. And, you don't need a title to be successful either. It just depends on who you are, But RK Bro, Scooter and all, they got some backup. Who are they waving to come out? Oh, it's Migos, all right. So they're going to come out and get involved in this match. They'll be ringside for this Raw Tag Team Championship matchup. And as I've said before, with RK Bro here, I don't think tonight, but before or around the Rumble, maybe even in the match, they're going to lose the titles, and somebody's going to turn on each other, whether that be Orton on Riddle or vice versa, Riddle on Orton. And they're going to have a feud on the road to WrestleMania and have a singles match at WrestleMania 38, and Riddle's going to win. And I think Riddle, as I caught his flip-flop as he does his entrance, be sure to go check out that video as well. Riddle's going to win Money in the Bank come summertime. I'm sticking by that. I believe that to the core. I do. I feel they are so damn high on him right now that, they see him as a future champion in waiting. Just as Ryan Day was the future head coach in waiting for Ohio State last time they went and won the Rose Bowl against Washington, and Urban Meyer retired, 2 years later comes out of retirement. Of course, we saw that went in the NFL this year with the Jags. But then Ohio State, your Rose Bowl champions. California Dreaming out in Pasadena. Granddaddy them all defeating Utah to kick off 2022. But here tonight, WWE Day 1. We've already had, to kick off the show about an hour or so ago now, the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match with the Usos defending and defeating the New Day to retain. Now, this is technically the only third match of the night? Yeah, because we had a SmackDown along with that singles match we just saw, and now this Raw Tag Team matchup. Migo's going to be ringside in the VIP area. So where's MVP when you need him? But, okay, we got now the Raw Tag Team Championship match underway. Bell rings. Here we go. It's RK Bro and the Street Profits. Matt Riddle and Angelo Dawkins to start things off. Still to come, though, tonight. We have we're about halfway through. At least we will be after this. Raw Women's Championship matchup with Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan, which that's either going to be next or Edge Miz will be. I think they'd go women's and then have Edge Miz be the co-main event with how this show's going. And then the main event will, in fact, be the Fatal 5-Way WWE Championship matchup now with Big E, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Bobby Lashley, and Brock Lesnar. So, we'll see what happens, but be sure to like, follow, and subscribe as always on social media. Links in the description below. Chat questions and comments, super chats, super stickers, always greatly appreciated as well. Keep those rolling. Night's still young. Still have a good card on our hands here. I feel this second half, starting with this match here. No offense to those first two matches, but from now until the finish, this is where and when it's going to get good. This is going to be the thick of it. This is, as the crowd starts chanting RK Bro. This is corkscrew takedown there on a shoulder tackle. This is where it's going to get good. So, and then, of course, you have Migos ringside. So, they're either going to help out the Street Profits, and if they do, maybe that's the split, or the planted seed for the split of RK Bro potentially at some point in time. We'll see. Give whoever a reason to turn, because they lost. Or they're going to help out RK Bro. But RKO, no. I feel they're going to play it down the middle, I do. They might, even help out both teams. So, as we've had two SmackDown matches, here's our first Raw match tonight. We'll have a couple more Raws, and then, actually everything else still to come is a Raw match, to be honest with you. I bring that up. They'll probably, for the Fatal 5-Way main event, for the WWE Championship, they'll have a mixed commentary, whether it be Jimmy Smith or Michael Cole, probably Cole. And then they'll have Graves and, McAfee, two of Pittsburgh's finest. Riddle growing a beard. Rather than the fake mustache or the fake goatee, is he going to really, as Orton hits a drop kick, grow it out like Orton's facial hair that he, has, not necessarily all the time, but it's not like he's going to be growing his hair out anytime soon, no. Orton Riddle come Mania, though, is going to be one of the better Mania matches this year. It will be. I'd be shocked. This is just a prediction. You know, I've said, and I said a few times already again tonight, that they're going to split before Mania. One's going to turn on each other, and they're going to have a match come the show or shows. At the end, though, still, they might not. You know, they might wait. I mean, I don't know why you would. I mean, because, hell, they've already been Raw Tag Team Champions since SummerSlam, right? If I'm not mistaken. So, we'll see what happens. You know, I mean, I've said a lot tonight. I've said a lot, you know, throughout the fall here on Monday nights for watching Monday Night Football, Monday Night Raw together. Of course, SmackDown's the best show of the two. I don't watch NXT 2.0 anymore. Of course, yeah, all in with AEW on Wednesday and Friday nights for Dynamite and Rampage, no doubt about it. But kick out here at 2.5. Montez Ford with him and Bianca Belair. She really hasn't done a lot lately. I don't know why. The women's division is in flux again, I feel like. You know, I mean, hell, they just had Toni Storm the other day up and quit. She asked for a release. They granted it to her, and she's no longer with the company. And good for her. You know, she wanted out. She got the hell out. Of course, you know, could have went a little bit better there at the end of it, but of course it didn't, so here we are. But really, who cares? You know, it's her life. It's her reputation. It's her job, you know. So what can you do? Another cover, 1, 2, and a kick out. So, I mean, both Orton and Riddle have been in this match, as have Montez and Angelo Dawkins. But it's been split. It's been balanced. You know, nobody's really taken full control. I mean, we've had a lot of, you know, near pins, but yeah, if it works, it works. Why not do it? So, I mean, really, that's all you can ask for. But, I mean, what, 3 matches and another hour and a half, probably. Call it a night, probably, at that point, yeah. 2.5, 3 hour show at the max. They might go 3, we'll see. Street Profits kicking down Riddle in the corner. Cover, 1, and a kick out, just like that. Honestly, I think that'd be a little, even though, yeah, it would be a little too much to ask for. Just with even everything going on, like, yeah, the fans would love it, but, I mean, maybe at a house show, but it really wouldn't make any sense for TV to do this or that. So, Riddle looking to tag in Orton. He does, as Street Profits also make a tag. Riddle with a tag to RKO, and now Orton's laying it to Montez and Angelo. A couple big clotheslines and a power slam, and make that 2 power slams. And the Viper's getting hot. Gonna hit a double vintage Randy Orton with the double DDT off the middle rope, it looks like. Yep. Thank you, Byron. Thank you. And a double DDT from Randy Orton to the Street Profits. Now they're in full control. And now the Viper looking to strike. Thank you, Corey Graves. I'll say it again, thank you. I'm sure you can hear that audio from them in the background. But after a quick roll-up, kick out at 2, kick to the back of the head as well. Here comes Riddle, and then he's going to get reversed and back body dropped. So now here come the Street Profits fighting back. Knee to the face. And now Riddle off the ring apron with a nice kick there. And then Montez, a little bit of a botch, but knocks him down. And now back into the ring, Orton and Ford. Shoulder first into the corner, the steel post, the ring post. And then Montez Ford over, Jesus Christ. Over the top of the ring post. See a replay of this. Does a flip and takes them both out. So. Don't tell me he's going to hit a DDT off the top rope now. To unify the titles, I mean, yeah, I thought about that. I said that. I mean, either do that or if Lesnar would win, get the title off him before then. But then that would make him look weak, which they wouldn't want to do. But they just say, as Orton hits an RKO off the assist from Riddle, who just threw him up in the fucking air. And then Orton with a cover, 1, 2, 3, as Riddle holds off the rest. And Migo's going to celebrate as well. RK Bro, your winners, and still your WWE Raw Tag Team Champions following WWE Day 1 here this evening, defeating the Street Profits. In that match that we just witnessed, Migo's up on the ring apron. Well, you get your ass in the ring and let's celebrate. So they'll probably all pose. As they are in Atlanta. Migos. Montez Ford did. Angelo was ringside. Angelo Dawkins was ringside. Riddle went to keep him out, and Orton with that RKO, cover 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so Montez took the pin. As did Kofi Kingston in the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match. And then also, of course, Riddick Moss, Madcap Moss, in the match against Drew McIntyre just prior to this. So we're 3 matches in. We still got 3 more to go. We're halfway there. So crank some John Bond while you're at it, and I would think the Raw Tag Team Championship picture for the time being until they split, no doubt about it, it's going to be interesting. Because the Street Profits still at the end of the day could be the ones that take the titles off them, Lost tonight doesn't mean they're not going to beat them at some point in time down the line, whether it be for the titles or not. Hell, maybe even tomorrow night on Raw. Or Monday night on Raw. I'm thinking, because it's WWE pay-per-view, and here we are Saturday night, tomorrow's Monday. No, tomorrow's Sunday. And with, being New Year's, of course, past week everything's been screwed up as always anyway. But, no, I mean, they have tag teams, but they don't have tag teams because they're splitting everybody up. And thank God AJ Styles is back by himself. He's going to be one to potentially win the Royal Rumble, I think. Right now, along with Kevin Owens, as I've mentioned previously. I know I didn't say that yet tonight until just now, but I know I said that a couple weeks back. But it really, like I said earlier, too, it just depends on what the hell happens tonight, And then you get a, gist of potentially the road they're going to take. But you know how they like to swerve us all the damn time anyway. Who the hell knows what's going to happen, because they're, in the end, still going to do what the hell they want anyway. So Drew McIntyre just randomly roaming around by himself backstage. Now he's going to get interviewed by some blonde chick.
First of all, Atlanta is rocking tonight.
And Atlanta's rocking on New Year's.
Second of all, actually, that's
So, oh, Atlanta.
He's got some terrible jokes. He is one tough son of a bitch.
Who's one tough son of a bitch?
We go way back, as annoying as he is, he can actually handle himself. It's the
Actually, well, as that interview's taking place, he was talking about Moss, but then Corbin and Moss attack him from behind. And now Corbin with a steel chair to the gut and back of Drew McIntyre. Moss continuing to beat him down even after the loss. So McIntyre can win, but remember, people are going to remember this because it's the last thing to happen. They're going to remember, well, they might not because it's fucking Corbin and Moss, but anybody else they probably would. What the hell is that? Okay, so they're going to injure Drew McIntyre. Here comes Postman Adam Pearce delivering his yelling. They're going to write off McIntyre, it seems like, for the time being. They are going to get some help and write him off. Huh. Here's a Royal Rumble promo. 30 men, 30 women, and the road to WrestleMania to begin. It'll be a few Saturdays from now at the end of the month. And I'll have live watch-along reactions live right here on YouTube, so be sure to tune back in. Hit that red subscribe button and the little notification bell next to it as well so you can stay up to date. They'll be in the Midwest from the Arch. Saturday, January the 29th. Is everything a fucking premium live event now? Come on now, what the hell? Is 2022 going to be the year of WWE premium live events?
You okay?
Yeah, I just couldn't go through with it. Maybe move with somebody else.
Is the next dude going to get called up from NXT be called the premium man? Like, come on now, what the hell? They just like to say shit so they can fucking own it. Business is business, so I get it. I understand it. It's just, I don't know if anybody else caught that, but it said that. Not small, but small enough that you couldn't see it. Below the main headline of when the Rumble was, it had premium live event. And tonight is supposed to be the first premium event of the new year. Hence WWE 1, which bullshit it is. I said that earlier. So, we'll get to the Rumble when we get to the Rumble. I haven't even thought about the Royal Rumble. I'm still, because it is still football season for myself. That same weekend we'll have the conference championship games. But, like I said, I mean, Happy New Year. It's been a long day, though, no doubt about it. And, I mean, it's been a good day. Minus from 12 to 5 earlier. Go check out the previous stream for info once again on that. But here we are tonight, and thanks for tuning in and listening. I mean, having a good time here. It's been a good show, to an extent. I mean, we're halfway through it. Could always be better, but what do you expect? So, we'll get into fine details on this, that, or the other towards the tail end. Keep those chat questions and comments rolling. They're always really appreciated. Because, like I said, for that, and even after that, it all depends on what's going to happen tonight. So, as I continue to think and continue to talk, of course, we'll see. But thanks for tuning in and listening. Paul Heyman's going to open the door. He doesn't. It's Brock Lesnar actually answering the door as Caleb Braxton knocks and the Beast arrives. He's now in the Fatal 5-Way WWE Championship match. He's still in street clothes, for God's sakes. He's probably going to wrestle like that. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Brock Lesnar. He's doing Paul Heyman's stick. And Brock Lesnar does what Brock Lesnar wants to fucking do. Because he's a free agent. He's on Raw, he's on SmackDown. So that's how they're going to roll with it. All right. He's going to go to the ring, and he's going to walk out as champion. So they might be done with Reigns-Lesnar if they do have Lesnar win. But at the end of the day, still, too, they could unify the titles they want to. You know. And, of course, he ends it with, that's not a prediction, that's a spoiler. So, that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. We've still got 2 matches prior to that. I would hope they're going to give Edge and Miz some time. One's coming up next, the other's going to be the coming event, and then we'll have the Fatal 5-Way. But, you know, we've already seen and heard of from Big E, Kevin Owens, and now Brock Lesnar. So, of course, still Rollins and Lashley. It seems to me, like I said, they're going to have interviews of some sorts, or just a talking part here tonight. Prior to the match, they're going to put everyone over, and like I said earlier still, too, remember, keep in mind with the Usos and Paul Heyman to potentially, you know, get involved in that main event for Brock Lesnar. You know, because the Wise Man, of course, was just fired. Is he playing both sides? We don't know. We don't. Excuse me. Take a swig of shit, whatever the hell's in this bottle. So, coming up next, it'll be Edge. Excuse me, shit. Edge and Miz, the rated R superstar and the A-lister who's just on Dancing with the Stars. You know, Beth Phoenix could get involved in this because Maurice is back. We've yet to see her, of course, since she sort of has been done with NXT as of late. So, yeah, this was the next match coming up, and then we'll have the co-main event as the Raw Women's Championship with Becky and Liv, and then the Fatal 5-Way WWE Championship matchup. So, you got a mansion in the Hollywood Hills, you got a beautiful family, you made it higher than anyone ever thought you could. You're a future Hall of Famer. But you want to know the biggest difference between you and I am a Hall of Famer. You expect respect. Yeah, Edge has earned it. They're showing this video package highlighting Edge and Miz after the Miz returned. We've had, you know, Miz TV. We've had the Cutting Edge. We've had both stand tall, including this past week on Raw during the vow renewal. Brood Edge, once again, with that black tar, as he did to Rollins over the summer, have it be dumped on Miz and Maurice in the middle of the ring. So, I mean, I would think, you know, Edge here is going to win this match. But if they're going to play it out as they did with him and Rollins and have 2, 3, 4 matches, Miz very well could win this. And speaking of vow renewals, it was funny they had that on Raw on Monday night. Miz and Maurice just attended Ryder's wedding last night. Matt Cardona. and Chelsea Green. So they posted that picture on social media with who else was in that pick? It was Morrison. Yeah, Edge is gonna win. Edge to win to the moon and back. You can, bet your fucking life on it. Yeah, Edge to win, no doubt about it. Now, Morrison was in that picture, Dolph. Miz was, of course, Ryder, Hawkins. A couple other people that I don't know who the hell they are because they're probably their friends and not mine, but, yeah. Brood, Black Tar. They ended, as I said on Raw this past week, during the Dolphins Saint Monday Night Football and Monday Night Raw stream. For the second time in 3 years, they've ended the calendar year with a wedding segment in the main event of Raw. Back, of course, to Rusev, Lana, and Bobby Lashley with the cake. Awesome. Here comes Miz. We'll see how awesome this match is. If it's going to be rated R or not. Maybe NC-17 if, Maurice and Beth Phoenix get into it. But, with the Tar, they've done that now a few times with Edge. But even last year, we remember with Alexa Bliss, after Bray had returned, but then went away after he got burnt, that Edge, or not Edge, as he'll come out next, Alexa with that fireball, that was either, goddamn Maurice, Jesus Christ. Whether it's whatever the hell year she debuted with The Miz, the past 2 years, including 2021 or now 2022, give me whatever the best French word is to describe Maurice. Yeah, insert that, fill in the blank for me. Yeah. Good God. But speaking of Alexa Bliss, too, and a few others, no doubt about it, all jokes aside, that was what? They said Monday, the last Raw or the first Raw of this past year. So they have done a good job, moving on. And, I think we're all interested, honestly, to see how this event is going to go. Because it's not like they're going to have this, I would think, every year. It's only really going to be when, the New Year is on a weekend. They're not going to have a fucking pay-per-view on a Tuesday night, would they? Wednesday night, Like, they have TV through the week. So, are you going to come out as the Brood? It looks like it. Yeah, he will. Remember, SummerSlam, he did both, right? He did Brood first off, and then it was You Think You Know Me. And On This Day, right? Hell, you were there. You should know. Yeah, okay, I thought so. If it works, depending on who it is, which it does for Edge, living in the past like this. But to insert it in and give it to, not necessarily a new, fresh audience, if you know, it adds to who he is, Yeah, they're going to do both again, because he's going to walk down the ramp. And, yeah, You Think You Know Me On This Day. And Pyro with the double hook 'em. Yep. And he yells as if he's trying to scare off a fucking grizzly bear or something. But the rated R superstar Edge, Adam Copeland, going to take on Mike the Miz Mizanin, and hopefully his Browns Monday night lose on Monday Night Football, but be sure to tune back in for that. This crowd, I think every crowd, including Maurice, has been behind Edge since he's returned once again. You know, of course, he had to retire well over a decade ago now. Neck injury, early retirement. Came back, and even in the few comebacks, there's been some time off in between, no doubt about it. You know, he is full-time, but he's not. You know, at least he's wrestling more than Goldberg, and, you know, once again, with that comparison, at least he could wrestle to begin with, but I'll digress. So bell rings, match underway, they lock up middle of the ring. But, you know, Edge has faced, really in the past 2 years, and throw in, if I forget anybody, what the fuck's Miz doing, slapping his ass for? Did he shit himself already? Is he scared? Shoulder tackle by Edge off the ropes. Jessica Carr, your zebra. All right. Miz flexing on his ass. Getting booed by the crowd already. No, Edge has faced Orton, Rollins, and now Miz. Has there been anybody else? And Miz, I mean, hell. Yeah, it sucks Morrison got cut. Because as they lock up again, you know, they played Miz and Morrison out again for another year or so. They, right before he left for Dancing with the Stars, something, of course, they're going to make you forget. They really didn't get their send-off. They didn't. He goes off, does Dancing with the Stars. Morrison gets fired in the meantime. He comes back, and what are we going to have Miz do now? We'll feed him to Edge. You know? I'm sure he's all for it, you know? Because, I mean, hell, you go back to WrestleMania 25, 26, 27. That time frame there. You know, almost a good 15 years or so ago now. World title and WWE championship picture. You know, both of these guys were right there. So, I mean, it is fun to see them square off in 2021, but now make it 2022. So, cover 1, 2, and a kick out. So, hashtag WWE Day 1 again. And off the ropes they go. Through the ropes they go. Maurice going to move out of the way. And Edge going to move out of the way. Miz lands on his feet. And then Maurice with a distraction. Miz from behind going to shove him into the steel steps. Boos from the crowd as their front row right up against the barricade there. Which, especially with this recent COVID situation with them, I'm surprised, not that they're still running shows, which they're going to do what they want anyway. Like, the thing is, people are scared and people are fucking brainwashed. End of story. Like, just live your life how you fucking want to. Okay? I'm surprised they're letting them, you know, get close to the barricades and, you know, allow these people don't necessarily be close to them because they're close to them to begin with, but just, I mean, you know, risk at your own reward. I mean, honestly, who cares? That's the thing. Who cares? Because nobody does. And I mean, if you're saying that you do, you're lying to yourself. So just all it's turned into is fucking politics. It's a big dick contest. It all fucking is. Yet, from what I can remember, the election was last year. Was it not? Make it 2 years ago now that we're into 2022.
Do you think Miz and Maurice would be inducted together simultaneously? Would that be out of line? Do you think we can?
They're still going to run with Miz going into the Hall of Fame. Hopefully that's just a joke, right? Like, Miz from corner to corner. Edge moves out of the way. And, yeah, Maurice is going to have to give him some love there later. Cure him back up. Jeez. Nice drop. 1-2 and a kick out. But, yeah, Miz hurting from top to bottom and everywhere in between right now via the Rated R Superstar. Maurice ringside. Like I said, we could see Beth Phoenix. I highly doubt, though, that we will. But we'll see. Edge catches him midair off the ropes and slams him down. Another cover and another kick out at 2.5. But as this match rolls on, in the meantime, the Sugar Bowl is now underway. This is the final college football bowl game of the day. We'll have one early mid next week, and then the national championship game, plus the FCS national championship game next Saturday. So 3 more college football games this year, plus the All-Star games, and then as the NFL playoffs will begin in 2 weeks' time, Super Bowl 56. Then it's off-season time. Beginning of the year, though, for the WWE, Royal Rumble at the end of the month. We'll be on the road to WrestleMania. It's also about -8 degrees in the Twin Cities right now, and they're playing outside on the fucking ice for this NHL Winter Classic game. They said all time, any sport, it's the 3rd coldest outside event. Miz, you suck chance. Where's that angry Miz girl at? Where's the angry Becky and angry Liv girl at? Are they going to be in that match next? Quick roll up by Edge. 1. And a kick out. Shit. They've really quieted down since the start on the replays, if anybody else has noticed that. But yeah, they've sort of died down doing that for the time being, at least. They'll wait until the main event, probably, and then shove it down her throat. Nice sweep from behind, taking down Miz on the ring apron. Maurice just staring him down ringside. She's probably just jealous she can't have any. Miz would get too pissed off. Ooh, shit. Off the ring apron. Face first. I think that had to have hurt Edge more than did Miz, because he hit ass first. And with the DDT, yeah, that had to hurt both of them there. Now they're going to roll into the ring. Cover 1, 2, and a kick out at 2.5. But at least this singles match here is better than the McIntyre, whoever the hell he faced off against. Into the corner. And then Miz actually going to slide out underneath the ring and pulls Edge down, and yeah, face first off the ring apron, now right in front of the announce table. You want to respect me, says Miz, and he slams Edge's face into the timekeepers, or the announce table, excuse me, as they're about ready to work, it seems like, in the timekeepers area. Miz back into the ring, though, gonna throw his arms up in the air and celebrate, get the crowd to get some heat on him, and boom out of the building for the time being. Miz up on top of the announce table. I wonder, honestly, how many, monitors and tablets nowadays they go through. Because, I mean, you would think sometimes that shit seriously just has to break and not work anymore after the shit they do on top of there. And then to get your notes back in order because they go flying because, I am the table, it didn't break. Miz just got slammed down. And back and forth right now with Edge and the Miz. Edge going to roll him back in the ring and climb up top. But yeah, talk about Aretha Franklin and respect. Crossbody off the top rope. Miz caught it a little awkwardly there late. He was standing up there more than he should have there at the end. Cover, kick out at 2. This match going to continue. But, Miz wants it. Edge has earned it. And, from a Hall of Famer to a wannabe Hall of Famer. Quick roll, 1-2. It's just part of the story right now. It's your perfect babyface versus heel. It is. Edge gonna kick him into the corner. Another quick roll up. 1-2 and a kick out. I actually met Miz at a fucking Texas Roadhouse 5-6 years ago now. Maurice was with him, but she was either in the bathroom or had already walked out because as I was walking in, I think they were leaving. So, but I did get a picture. That's on social media somewhere. Just be sure to like, follow, and subscribe as long as on social media. Links in the description below. But now the submission locked in. The figure 4. Now they're going to slap each other like sissies. That's a cover right there. That's 1, 2, 3. Why isn't she counting? Edge has that look. Miz continues to slap. And now he's going to reverse it. He's right there. Now they're just twirling their hips back and forth, laying on the ground, trying to reverse the figure 4. Edge finally does right there. So now the pressure's on Miz. Miz going to try to reach for that bottom rope to get a rope break. Here comes Maurice running ringside. She's probably going to grab him and pull him, get a rope break. Yeah, if Miz taps out, he loses. Okay, he gets out of it, and then from behind, Miz going to put the crossface in on him. But Edge rolls out of that real quick. And then, I don't know what the hell they're trying to do here, but... Alright. Beautiful rollout, okay. That's what you call it. That's what you want to say. Miz gonna throw Edge in the corner. Here's a quick roll up. Feet on the top rope. 1, 2. Ref breaks the count. Miz think he won. Miz thinks he's won. However, he hasn't. No, says the ref. Maurice laughing. Maurice, should have got in there and started celebrating with the Miz to really sell it. Yeah. You can't do that, champ. I mean, you can do that, but he got caught. So, he can't do that. I mean, you can do as much shit as you fucking want. Miz is trying to play some games, but he got caught there, so. The crossface now locked in. Edge gonna try to make him tap. And let's see what we got here. He's not gonna tap. Miz reverses it, but Edge rolls it through. So it's still locked in. And then Maurice from behind trying to grab Miz's foot to get a rope break. So that is a rope break. Maurice is going to get thrown out. Now, they break the count. And yeah, Maurice, quick smile. Hey, thanks, honey. So she's going to roll him out of the ring. And give him some energy before she takes it all away from him. And Edge from behind gonna grab him by his head, and well, Miz reverses that, and off the rope goes Edge. Seems to me now, with how long this match is going, they'll give, as Miz, actually Edge reverses it, quick roll up, 1, 2, kick out. That we're probably going to go to 11 o'clock because we still got the co-main event with Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan to come. And then the Fatal 5-Way main event for the WWE Championship. So, 9:45 right now. I mean, you give them another 5-10 minutes, which they probably will at this point. Because Edge, I mean, he can last. He can go the distance. He can. He's always in 20, 25, 30-minute matches. At least lately he has been. And, this is going to be right on the cusp of it, I would think. Once we're all said and done here. But, they'll give Becky and Liv some time, I would think, too. Plus everything to fill in between that, or this and that, and then that in the main event. Plus the main event, so, we're going to go for another hour, I think, till 11 o'clock now. So they know how to work it. They know how to program right. So you got to give them credit regardless of how bad it is, because, they've been on TV doing what they've been doing for how long. So that's why I said earlier, though, too, it's going to be interesting to see how this pay-per-view does. With buys, of course, the attendance, as Edge off the top rope slams down the Miz off the top. And, just with the viewership, because all they care about is ratings. I know they care more about that, but it's what it seems like. That, the attendance, the talk about it, for it to potentially become an every year thing. What are they going to have? A pay-per-view called WWE, as Edge goes for a spear, Miz moves out of the way, and then Edge won. Yeah, Maurice is going to get thrown out right here. And who's coming out? Is that Beth Phoenix? Beth Phoenix at the top of the ramp. Beth Phoenix coming out to help Edge. So no more on commentary for NXT. Beth Phoenix with her Betty jacket. The Glamazon Beth Phoenix, and her music hits. She's coming out for Maurice. So we're going to have a mixed tag with these two during their next match. So regardless of who wins tonight, which now it's going to be Edge, as thought. They're going to have a mixed tag Yeah, as Beth Phoenix runs her down and runs her off, she's now going to turn her sights towards The Miz. And Edge is in the corner lined up for a spear anyway. So all Miz is going to have to do is going to turn around. Oh, yeah, watch this. Well, yeah, you're on your ass. You just got your ass speared. Cover 1, 2, 3. Edge wins it. So Miz and Maurice are going to bitch with how this ended. And rightfully so. It's just going to add more fuel to the fire. It's going to make this story more interesting, more intriguing to, tune in and listen and watch. To actually see what the hell does in fact happen. So, no, they'll have a mixed tag. Whether that's the Rumble, whether that's the Saudi show, whether they hold off and save it potentially for Mania. Because, if they go too early with it, what are these two doing 3 months from now? Probably not a lot. So I could probably guarantee you see some replays. They'll, if they play the cards right, hold off and not do too much early and save and piece it. We'll get the mixed tag soon. That'll be next. But then, the rubber match, so to speak, if it's going to be 3, 4, like Edge with Rollins was, a big singles match with these two at Mania. Yeah. Because they could, maybe hell even have something else in between Rumble and Mania with all the, talking that they're going to do with Miz TV and the Cutting Edge and because believe me, there's a lot they can do with that. It's just don't overdo it. Who else could they add into it? Family, the kids. Ms. Maurice's kids are what, less than 5? And, Edge and, or Adam and Beth's kids are not much older than that, Because Orton brought family into it. They sure as hell weren't doing that with Rollins because he just had a newborn, but, Edge and Miz, the feud will continue, long story short. They're going to have not necessarily a screwy finish, but, distraction and interference. And then, they're going to have a mixed tag. And then they're going to have another singles match. Yeah. Maybe 2 singles matches. Because even just think, too, if it's funny you bring that up because I was just watching that. Yeah. Nice big return there for 6. Touchdown Baylor. Strike first and Sugar Bowl. Whatchamacallit? What the hell is this? This looks like a damn good documentary. A 6-part docu-series. Alright. Cool Under Pressure. Joe Cole. Backstage MVP with Bobby Lashley. And here's another interview. So Rollins will get interviewed last after the upcoming Becky and Liv match. And then he'll burn it down and we'll see who wins that Fatal 5-Way WWE Championship match. Because like I said, they could do, if Lesnar would win, what they sort of want, I guess. At least I know some people want it. I don't know necessarily if I want it or how even the WWE wants it, but because of situations, they can do it now. You know, Lesnar wins, Lashley challenges for the title. Lashley doesn't need the damn title, though. The safe bet, I think, once again, would have, right now, Big E retain, just with everything going on. You know, at first, like I said, Rollins to win was a singles match. Owens to win was a triple threat. And then he re-signed. But hold off on that for the time being. You know, it's a coin flip. And then Lashley beats them all to make a fatal four-way. But because Reigns can't wrestle because he has COVID, Lesnar's in the match now, too, for the hell of it. So, MVP cutting his promo. MVP to Bobby Lashley is what Paul Heyman, you know, is to Lesnar. New year, new me bullshit. All right. 2022. So this is a new WWE Network on Peacock promo. Actually, this is a WrestleMania 38 video package. It'll be 2 nights once again. It's stupendous now? Because last year and the year prior, it was the first time ever, or whatever the hell the tagline was for it. I mean, they always come up with something new year in and year out for the new premium live events. No, that was a WrestleMania video package here. It'll be a 2-night show back in Texas, early April. But that's another 3 months from now. But that's going to be here before you know it, believe me. So back to day one. Co-main event coming up next. Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan. And then the Fatal 5-Way with Big E, Rollins, Owens, Lashley, and Lesnar for the WWE Championship. Now, what was I saying just prior to one of those last comments? Had to have been talking about that last match, right? Edge and The Miz. I don't even remember now. I don't. Oh, okay, yeah. Catch my train of thought. As we see this video package now for Becky and Liv. And another rematch of the Raw Women's Championship. They had that on Raw. It was either the 6th or the 13th of December. It was either that Bill Patriot or Cardinal Ram Monday night game for Monday Night Football. It was one of those 2 nights. Can't remember. No, but that extra match potentially that they could do, that they're not going to be able to now that I bring this up because of, not having the numbers. I mean, they still could, but it just wouldn't feel right. But knowing them, they'll do it. At least if they'd hear this, they'd do it. Which I know they won't, but here goes nothing. We have this match tonight. They're going to have the mixed tag. Okay, next. What about an actual tag match? Miz, if Morrison was still there, okay, there's your tag team for him. And then Edge and, Orton side up with Riddle. But, and of course, the Edge heads aren't there anymore either. But I'm sure Edge could find somebody. And they'd like to have, these mixed tags anyway. I mean, the true mixed tag, man, woman, haven't done this in quite a while. A good probably 4, 5, 6 years. Back to the mixed match challenge and, when Al Roker was at Mania and Cena proposed and then they don't get married and Well, they do, but not to each other. And yeah, so um, they could do a tag match potentially. Something for TV probably, just to play it out a little bit more. And then you're gonna have Miz and Edge. It looks like at WrestleMania, another singles match, probably with a big stipulation. I don't know right now what that would be, but I would think a big stipulation. So we'll see down the line, of course, what happens. But, co-main events coming up next. We got Becky Lynch, big time Bex herself, and Liv Morgan. Go ahead and comment what you want. Liv is the last one standing of the Riot Squad. Of course, Sarah Logan was the first one cut. She hasn't done anything in wrestling since. Ruby's in AEW now. And Liv, they've given her pushes, but, still at the end of the day, they haven't done much with her. But now here we are. She gonna win the title tonight. That's a big NO. At least I don't think she is. No. She could. But I know as somebody had stated previously, have her win it on a bigger stage, hence tonight. And I still don't think that's going to be tonight. It'll be later on. But as I said earlier, too, the women's division in the WWE, once again, is in a state of flux. They have 1, 2, maybe 3 women. They need Alexa and Bayley back ASAP. Bayley, talk about Royal Rumble returns earlier. If she's healthy enough, maybe. But, 9 months... Not because she was pregnant, because she blew her knee out. That's July. Here we are, January now. Another 3 months. Doable, maybe. If healthy. You don't want to rush it, though. It'll either be soon, then, or, shortly then after. So... because think with a torn ACL or a blown out knee in general, all your ligaments are done for. Remember when Rollins, and it's Houston, it's San Antonio, it's Austin, it's Killeen, it's Dallas, Texas. It's almost WrestleMania season. They're going to be hitting the Lone Star State, AT&T Stadium, Jerry's World, come early April. The last time they were there, remember, Rollins the year prior had cashed in the main event of WrestleMania and won the WWE Championship. The WWE World Heavyweight Championship at the time. It was the 2 titles. That was what? 2015. Remember, he blew his knee out, I don't know how soon earlier, but he missed the show and he didn't come back until May. So that could be very similar, just as an example to compare with what Bayley, is potentially in for. But they are in a state of flux once again with the women's division. They are. It does look like a sold out crowd with that shot right there. There's people with the fucking rafters. So they do got a good crowd, it seems like, tonight. Attendance-wise and with how hot they've been. And hot, co-main event, Raw Women's Championship match. Becky Lynch, the man herself, and Liv Morgan. And Becky coming out in a goat jacket with GOAT on the back. Of course, greatest all time. She sort of had a weird hat on. I'm trying to, now that I, can picture it, remember exactly what the name of that type of hat is. But it was similar to, and I don't know by any means if, it's a shot, but, what Ridge Holland wears, and then even Toni Storm, with her situation this past week. So, yeah, but this match is underway. Becky and Liv for the title.
Becky Lynch had a foot waiting for Liv Morgan. Lynch looks like she's trying to compose herself now. She was a bit surprised by the offensive onslaught from Liv Morgan. Composure should not.
Rock bottom rolls through. And all right, Liv with a running knee. And then a drop kick to the back of Becky Lynch. Says, come on. All right. Where you at? And then a big stomp. Jeez. Yeah. Putting her down. And then a kick out at 2. It is day 1. There's a quick roll up. Another quick roll up. We really honestly haven't seen a lot of those tonight. There's a submission locked in.
Keeping the pressure for the officials count 5 that is allotted, inflicting extra damage on the champion. You got 5 seconds, punish him for 4. That's a good move. When you talk about the pressure of this stage, I think Liv Morgan is feeding off the pressure, feeding off the front legs, feeding off the sold-out arena. Or is she not? Fighting like a veterans match before. To this point, absolutely. The year that Becky Lynch has had since her comeback, SummerSlam, Crown Jewel. And the lights are biggest. She's at her best so far on. But Liv Morgan has her on her heels. So we're going to say it has not let up. For a moment,
And a scary injury in college football. I believe, if I'm mistaken, as Ole Miss has turned the ball over a few too many times this first half. They trail by 7-0 against Baylor in the Sugar Bowl. This Raw Women's Championship match will continue with Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan. Matt Corral is now injured, walking off the field on crutches. And he'll be done playing college football, going to play on Sundays next year. So we'll see where he lands, but he'll ride the wind wherever he does go. So, I believe that was Matt Corral, if I'm not mistaken. The turnovers really aren't hurting him, but the one is because it was returned for a touchdown. So, yeah, he's going to be done. He's in street clothes on crutches. That sucks. That for sure sucks with how that ended for him. No doubt about it. Speaking of Atlanta as well, as they're at the State Farm Arena in the ATL for this WWE Day 1. Also, following this Winter Classic, they're back in studio on TNT first ever Winter Classic on TNT. It's always been on NBC. But TNT and ESPN now have the rights to hockey. And, now that we're into the new year, still football season. Of course, Road to WrestleMania right around the corner here. We'll, turn our attention, shift it to wrestling here before too long. I mean, as it's always in the loop anyway, but full time, from now until September, as it always is. It's like from Royal Rumble to SummerSlam. That's full attention. But as a football and, wrestling site covering both, of course, you got to do both, but you got to, at least for myself, can only do so much. Got to watch what I do here, there, or however you want to put it. So, Becky and Liv still going at it. One and a kick out. But, here before too long, over to, baseball, hockey, and basketball. Baseball is on strike. Let's see if they can get a deal done over these next few weeks or so they can still start on time next month. Which, because football is going to run a week later than it normally does, there's no gap in between with a dead period of really nothing going on. And hell, NASCAR is going to start back up before too long. It's hard to believe it's New Year's Day. It doesn't feel like a Saturday today by any means. But it's hard to believe it's New Year's. It is. It's hard to believe we're already into 2022. And hopefully, once again, everyone had a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Happy holidays if you're that person, which I'm not. But, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. And we'll see what the future holds for everyone and everything. And hopefully we'll be along for the ride. And be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Once again, links in the description below. Another quick roll-up. A lot of quick roll-ups with these two in this matchup. Kick out by Becky. And a kick to the gut. That had to hurt. And then Liv with a nice takedown. And going to town with some rights and lefts. You know what I just realized, too? Of course, with Becky and Liv here, thinking about the main event to come next. It'll be Big E, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Bobby Lashley, and Brock Lesnar in a fatal five-way for the WWE Championship. Just think, we still have two more matches. And we probably would have already saw the WWE Championship match if Reigns was going to wrestle. Or they'd be close to getting there if they hadn't already done it. That with the backstage interviews that they've done with everybody so far, minus Rollins, they have not interviewed Rollins yet. Which I knew, but what I'm getting at, what I just realized, I feel they're saving that for last because, hell, they still might not know if he's going to be good to go, if he might be wrestling or not. I'm sure they do, and that he will. So, because another thing, too, is talk about unification. With Lesnar potentially winning the title, Reigns beats him, he's the WWE Universal Heavyweight Champion of the world, with both titles rather than the one, or Lesnar and Lashley. What if Rollins would win, and they do the same thing with unifying, and have Rollins and Reigns at Mania? I think, in the end, rather than day one here tonight now, of course, because Reigns can't go, no Reigns Lesnar, Big E's going to retain. Still could change my pick before the match begins. But like I said, it's really just going to depend on, how the match goes at first. And midway, I'll let you know who I really think is going to win. Because I still don't know. I mean, because there's still a lot of possibilities in which way they could end up going. We'll see. But you save Reigns, Lesnar now for the Rumble. You have, who knows who Big E's going to face, but because it's all going to depend on what happens on Raw and SmackDown the next couple weeks too. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Nice move by Liv. 1, 2, kick out by Becky. She jumped the rope, jumped up, caught Becky, and then, she powerbombed her off the rope, and 1, 2, and a kick out. I think that, honestly, might have been one of the best moves of the night by anybody, and it goes right now to Liv Morgan. I mean, I know Austin Gunn would be loving this match, but here we go again with easy submission with the armbar or a quick roll-up. It'll be the armbar and a rope break, though. Becky says, no, I'm going to hold on whether you like it or not, ref. Now I'll let go because I don't want to lose, but some quick roll-ups again, reverse, 1, 2, 1, 2. And boom. And then a Becky cover, and Liv kicks out. Yeah, we're going to get at 11 o'clock. So, 3-hour show. I mean, that's average for pay-per-view. I mean, Thunderdome-wise, it was 2, 2.5, sometimes 3. Since they've returned to the road, it's been 3, if not longer. Because, hell, SummerSlam was 4. I mean, Survivor Series really wasn't anything this year. But that was still how long of a show? Crown Jewel was a good 3 hours, 3.5 hours. Extreme Rules was the same. The big pay-per-views, and I'd probably guarantee you now, they're going to try to include as Becky completely misses and falls right on her ass. That had to hurt. Liv now going to try to capitalize off it off the top rope. And a drop kick, which turned into a botch. Jesus Christ. That has Botchamania written all over it. What was that supposed to turn into a code breaker? Do not show a replay of that. That was absolutely pathetic. They will show a replay of it, but they'll show it from the back angle rather than... It was a drop kick that barely connected, but Becky still rolled out to sell it, so... Liv in control. No, but you have your big 4, your big 5. Suicide dive there by Liv. And I'll let you know when the main event begins. It's coming up next, so stay tuned. We got this co-main event women's championship match for the Raw Women's title wrapping up here with Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan. I'm still, like I said all night, been going back and forth on it, so we'll get there when we get there. I honestly don't know. You can flip 5 coins and come up with 5 different answers. That's how close it is. Big time Beck's putting a big time beat down on Liv Morgan. No, but you have Mania. You have SummerSlam. You have the Royal Rumble. Money in the Bank. Survivor Series. They'll probably consider day 1 to be one of those big 4, big 5, make it big 6 pay-per-views now. Because it's going to kickstart the year. Why the hell wouldn't you? It seems to me, too, everything's going to be a premium event now. So, take that, premium boy.
That's one way of looking at it. But Becky Lynch was the man.
Into the steel steps goes Becky Lynch.
And the point of Lynch's hit the top of the stairs. Oh, gentlemen, look at this.
And from behind, who's coming out? Or actually, Liv gonna stomp on Becky Lynch. Hey, JC, you out there listening?
Through the stairs. And now back in the ring. Stolen place that Liv Morgan can become champion. Just that quick. A kick by the champion to the bridge of the nose. Stop Liv Morgan dead in her tracks.
Now we have to ask, what does Becky Lynch have left? What is left?
Off the top rope, both Becky and Liv go.
We're about to witness it.
That turned into the code breaker that I think she wanted to get off the drop kick. Now she's got Becky in an armbar. When you get the lockjaw in, Becky taps, she's going to lose. And Liz is going to become Raw Women's Champion. Quick roll up, though, on the reverse 1-2 kick out.
Not quite enough. It gets her out of the submission. Morgan very wisely released the hold before getting herself pinned.
But she's not letting up. She's hanging on for dear life to that middle rope. She just saw her title slip away. I thought she had her there. Oblivion. Trying to execute it.
And boom, on a nice big power slam by Becky. 1, 2, 3. She was trying to get her foot on the rope for an advantage, but she didn't even need it. And a big power slam with the finish for Becky Lynch to cover and pin Liv Morgan 1, 2, 3 to win and retain her Raw Women's Championship tonight at WWE Day 1. Crowd, a little bit of a mixed reaction. Good match. They show some replays here. Good match. Finish, yeah, could have been a little bit better, but Becky's still your Raw Women's Champion, as thought. I mean, like I said, to this point, with the main event coming up next, very predictable. Liv saying her eyes. Did somebody last night squirt a little too much? That big power slam, though, probably did knock her out. Make her eyes water. So as Becky celebrates, we go backstage to her hubby. It'll be Seth frickin' Rollins getting interviewed before his main event. Fatal 5-Way Championship match, so he will wrestle tonight. What a night, what a show. And they actually throw the frickin' in his name down on the bottom screen with the graphics. Seth frickin' Rollins. Frickin', no G, frickin'. Why don't you copy and paste, Photoshop, edit, and rather than Seth frickin', yeah, you know what to do. Yeah, Rollins, if I'm Rollins or Owens, I'm pissed because it was supposed to be a singles match and then a triple threat. Now it's a fatal 4-way, make it a fatal 5-way. So I honestly still have no idea who's going to win. If I was a betting man, I would not put any money on this match because you're going to lose. You might get lucky, but Rollins, what are you going to do? Rollins is going to stomp heads and win. That's a t-shirt. Stomp heads and win. No, but like I said, coin flip for one of the 5. Anybody. Any of these 5 could win. That's how unpredictable this big match is. Normally, you have a good idea on 1, if not 2 of them. Not tonight. Not for any of them. So, I mean, like I said, once again, I think they play it safe. With everything going on, they have Big E retain. That's probably what I would do. That's not who I'm saying I think or I'd want hoping to win. Because once again, when it was a singles match, I was thinking Rollins was going to beat Big E. Triple threat, being a big Kevin Owens fan, and of course then he signs on top of it for another few years. He's just going to keep fighting regardless. That, okay, Kevin Owens. Bobby Lashley doesn't need it. He just held the title last year. This thing with, Rollins and Owens, they haven't been a main title holder, a main champion, in quite a long time. So why not start off the new year with, going back to basics, go back to your roots? Lesnar intrigues it more, of course, because he's in the match. He's still going to be on the show. He's going to wrestle, so they're going to give the people what they want because he was advertised as face Reigns. But Reigns, of course, cannot wrestle because he has COVID. And due to protocols, there wasn't enough time. Hell, he's probably had COVID all week because he's been pulled from all these live events. And they're just going to play it safe and see how he was feeling. And, there's really no wiggle room that you pull him, and then if you don't say he has COVID, well, what else are you going to say, Because anymore, if you're sick, people think you have COVID. No, there's still other ways to get sick, folks, believe me. Okay, calm the hell down. People overreact way too damn much. No, but actually we're going to see a recap from the kickoff show from earlier tonight, which we talked about earlier. But, no, I think they play it safe and have Big E retain. I don't mind, and the lights have gone out for some unknown reason. Are we going to get Amigos performance? No, we're going to go to commentary with Jimmy Smith, Corey Graves, and Byron Saxon. All right, we're going to get an announcement from Johnny fucking Knoxville. What is this, Jackass? He's going to be on the Royal Rumble, as I mentioned earlier. He wants to. So there's your celebrity spot. Johnny Knoxville for the WWE Hall of Fame in whatever year. Johnny Knoxville World Champion trademark. Royal Rumble's, January 29th. That's 4 weeks from now. They're going to be in the Midwest from the Arch. Riddle could get a lot of heat that night if he turned on Orton. Believe me. Because I think everybody would think that Orton's going to turn and be the heel. Riddle could be the heel if they'd want to be. That would swerve everybody. They could go either way with it. They're going to break them up eventually, though, and feud till Mania. But coming up next, WWE Day 1 main event. And once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. As always, I'm your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Cool and Luke96. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. That thumbs up button. Share hashtag WWE, hashtag WWE Day 1. Chat questions and comments, super chats, super stickers. Always greatly appreciated. Video package now with Big E, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Bobby Lashley. And then they're going to add in Lesnar at the tail end of it and give us the arrival of him to SmackDown a few weeks ago as if it's him being, added to this match tonight. But, yeah, at first it was a singles match. Then it was a triple threat. Make it a fatal four-way. Now it's a fatal five-way. It is the main event. Big E's a safe, smart pick. Won't go wrong, though, with either Rollins or Owens to win. Lashley doesn't need it. He doesn't. It's going to be interesting to see who takes the pin. Because even at the end, this match might end with a DQ of some sorts. Because like I said, with Lesnar being inserted into it now and no Reigns tonight, they could still bring attention to the big dog. Usos already won earlier and retained their SmackDown Tag Team Championships. They could get involved. Paul Heyman could get involved. Okay? He could still be working for the Bloodline for all we know. He could be playing both sides. He could help out Lesnar win. If Lesnar wins, from now until April, they're either going to go Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley for the WWE Championship, or they're going to unify the titles with Lesnar and Reigns, with Reigns defeating the Beast at the show of shows. Because Roman Reigns ain't losing anytime soon. Okay? This is just a short break for him, to take off because he has COVID. And really, it sucks it came at this point in time, but looking ahead, really couldn't have come at a better time. Because if it comes any later, especially WrestleMania, they're up shit creek without a paddle. So, it sucks, but they luck out. Because it's going to work itself out in the long run. Believe me, it will. If Big E retains, they could go anywhere with it. I think who would ever win the Rumble would probably challenge Big E for the title. There's the graphic for the Reigns news from earlier. And that could be AJ Styles, that could be Kevin Owens, it could be anybody. If, Rollins would win, they could do the same thing with unifying the titles. Like I said earlier too, Drew McIntyre could be in position for another big year. I don't think he's going to be getting a title shot until after Mania, so summertime. But it's going to be interesting, so let me know in the comments below who you do have in fact winning. We're about to burn it down in the main event of WWE Day 1. It is a Fatal 5-Way WWE Championship match. With Big E, here comes Mr. Nickname, the architect himself, Seth frickin' Rollins. They're really going to run with the frickin'. I like it. And he's going to have a new shirt come Monday. Stomp heads and win. Especially if he does win. But, of course, still Kevin Owens and Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar. Hell, Lesnar might not even come out until late, to be honest with you. Or even if he does come out at the start. Honestly, how much is Lesnar going to do in this Fatal 5-Way match? Probably not a lot. If I'd have to guess, Rollins and Owens are going to carry this match. They will. Big E and Lashley and Lesnar as your big guys. Everybody's going to get their due as here comes Owens. Why is he getting booed? Recently, he's been getting cheered, it seems like, everywhere they've been. Kevin Owens is the best, though. Kevin Owens is the absolute best. He deserves to win the WWE Championship. He's never won the WWE Championship. He's former Universal Champion. Okay? So why not give him the WWE title? Might be, but will he? Unfortunately, no, probably not. But okay, so Rollins comes out first, then Owens. they're sort of as a tag team right now, too, to be honest with you, which is a little weird, but it is what it is. Here comes Lashley, and then I think Lesnar and, Big E is going to come out last because he's a champ, but we've seen champions, for the WWE recently, especially for pay-per-views, come out first or sometime in the middle. And Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar can do whatever the hell Brock Lesnar wants to do. So, MVP going to be ringside. Don't forget about him. He could get involved one way or another. But it's, even if you're working with each other, it's still every man for himself. So, yeah, we're going to go to 11 o'clock and be done. Then we'll recap and potentially, depending on what happens here, take a look at the future with what's to come. So, be sure to stick around, and once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. So the almighty Big Bob Lashley getting his pyro as well in the ring. I mean, hell, they could do something at the end of this match that none of us are thinking right now either. Hell, we could have a debut for all we know. Hell, Gable Stevenson's front row. Yeah, here comes Big E. So Lesnar is getting the last entrance because he's Brock Lesnar. And 2 of these 5 are, in fact, Iowa fans. One playing for the Hawkeyes. And, couple tough losses earlier. Couple very frustrating and disappointing campaigns this year as well. But here we go. Lesnar going to come out next. What if Lesnar gets attacked? What if Reigns is healthy? They're just fucking saying this. Get more eyes on the show. Blow up social media even more. Say it's a false positive, he's good to go. He doesn't have it, he's asymptomatic and all that bullshit. What if Roman Reigns comes out and wins the WWE title? Make it a fatal 6-way. Or a 6-pack challenge. Rollins, Owens, Lashley, and Big E in the ring. And now here comes the beast, Brock Lesnar. Mountain Man Brock. Wish he would have helped butcher some hogs earlier, but he wasn't around. He's getting ready for this fatal 5-way. Yeah, he might be winning. He might be winning. And like I said, Gable Stevenson's front row. At least he was. There's 2 Minnesota Golden Gophers for you, too. A couple former amateur wrestlers. Lesnar and Lashley. Rollins and Owens made their mark on the indie scene. More so not in Ring of Honor. Hopefully they come back. Lesnar making his entrance, just walking around the ring. What's going to happen next? Lesnar up on the ring apron. I mean, this day one show hasn't been bad. I mean, I have enjoyed it. I mean, bell rings right off the bat. Lesnar getting attacked by Owens and Rollins right away, and Lashley is going to work Big E. Suplex from Lesnar to Owens. Suplex from Lesnar to Rollins. Make it another suplex from Lesnar to Owens. And make it another suplex from Lesnar to Rollins. That's 2 apiece. So 4 total suplexes. So for one keeping count right now for Brock Lesnar. Make it 5. Owens landed right on his fucking head. And then now F5. Rollins from behind. He saves Seth. Another suplex from Lesnar to Owens. And then Big E with a nice big clothesline. Gets the Beast down on one knee. Keep those chat questions and comments rolling. Clothesline ringside. All right. A lot of action right now. And then Big E and Lashley. Bobby gonna run him into the ring post. That had to hurt. It's no DQ. All right, so backtrack to what I said. This match ends in disqualification. Well, yeah, hell, it is a fatal five-way. So here comes a Lashley spear through the barricade into the timekeeper's area on Brock Lesnar. MVP celebrating with him. That dude's going to be all over social media with his reaction. Holy hell, says Corey Graves. Holy shit chance now from the crowd. There's a replay of the spear. They always have a spear through the barricade on the timekeeper's area. And Lashley sends Lesnar. As Lashley back in the ring, going to hit a spear on Owens into the corner. And then a nice neck breaker. Here comes Rollins. So everybody's, doing their thing. Nice DDT there. Rollins from behind. Yeah, put him up. You give him the vertical suplex, the Goldberg jackhammer, and spear, because that's all you are, is Bill Goldberg, Bobby Lashley. Super kick from Owens. Super kick from Rollins. They're working together. Give me Rollins and Owens for the Raw Tag Team Champions. Have them break up RK Bro. They're both going to go after Brock Lesnar, it looks like. Suicide dive takes him out. Of course, Lesnar and Rollins have a lot of history. And then Lesnar gets held down by Seth. And then a frog splash off the ring apron by Kevin Owens. Jesus Christ. And now they're going to go stomp Bobby Lashley. Wow. Boom, yeah, Lesnar took that one hard right there, right on the ground. Steel steps from Owens and Rollins. Let me take out MVP rather than Bobby Lashley. They take out Lashley. Take out MVP too. They'll take out Lesnar next. Right to the fucking head, jeez. And then Owens doing the Shane O'Mac dancing on his grave. Owens is the best. And now, yeah, it's main event. Why the hell not? Take out the announce table. When's Owens and Rollins going to turn on one another, though? I mean, because it's still every man for himself. So they cover up Lashley with the top of the announce table. And then Owens picks it up and walks it over and puts it on top of Lesnar. We want tables is the chant from the crowd. We got steel steps in front of the announce table. And Owens and Rollins working together here. Gonna pick up Bobby Lashley and send him through that announce table, it looks like. Maybe not. He's gonna reverse. Where's Big E at in all this? That's what I don't know. There he is. Okay, he's gonna pick up Lashley. And rock bottom him, power slam him through the table. That breaks. And Bobby Lashley has gone through the announce table. Big E, super kick from Owens to him. Rollins and Owens are in control right now. They are. But at the end, who's going to be the one left standing? That's the thing. They pick up Lesnar, as he's just been laying there. They're going to DDT him on top of the steel steps. Rollins took a bad hit on that too, at least to his back. Landing right there on the edge of the top of the middle of the step and the top of the steel steps. Rollins gets sent ringside. Pop-up powerbomb by Kevin Owens. Cover 1, 2, kick out at 2.5. Owens now going to go up top, another frog splash. Rollins going to hit him with a super kick. Now, and the Swanton. Ooh, shit. Big E got his knees up, but then Rollins hits the frog splash, and then Big E kicks out at 2.5 again.
He just cannot stay in the ring against these two superstars. Owens and Rollins have done a masterful job of working in unison. Here we see Big E with the knees up just in time to stop Owens, but not Seth freaking Rollins. Oh, now the only one standing in his fatal five-way WWE Championship.
This is awesome chance. We want tables as well still. We'll see if we get them. I mean, if you're using tables, and we've seen some steel chairs earlier. I mean, table, they already broke the announce table. Where are the ladders at? I mean, this is a TLC match for the TLC pay-per-view we didn't get in December now, here on January the 1st. Make it a fatal five-way. This is probably a fatal four-way, five-way. Who would have gone to that show anyway? Stomp? No. Lesnar in, picks him up. F5 from Lesnar to Rollins. And then an F5 from Lesnar to Big E. Boom. And then a stunner from Owens on Lesnar? No. Off the ropes. Lesnar with an F5 to KO. So Lesnar's had as many suplexes, and now big spear by Lashley on Lesnar. Cover. Don't tell me that's the finish, and this is at 1, 2, kick out 2.5. Thank God. Yeah, wow's right. Whew. So everybody's done their thing, for the most part. I mean, you can still have a stunner, a stomp, and, well, guess what? Here comes the Bobby Lashley, Chris Masters lock for you on Brock Lesnar. But the Big E, big ending. If Lesnar taps, Lashley's going to win. MVP already celebrating. Somebody's going to come break it up if Lesnar can't get out of it. And Lesnar down on one knee, but Big E from behind, and he breaks it up. And now Big E going to pick up Bobby Lashley. There's your Big E, big ending. Hits out on Lashley. He's also going to hit on Lesnar. Lesnar actually gets out of it. Gets Big E in an F5. And then an F5 hits Brock Lesnar on the cover. 1, 2, 3. Brock Lesnar's your new WWE champion. Brock Lesnar wins the WWE Championship tonight at day 1 in this fatal five-way that was at one point in time a singles match before it turned into a triple threat, then a fatal four-way. But just hours ago, it was made a fatal five-way, inserting Brock Lesnar into the fold because Roman Reigns couldn't wrestle. It was supposed to be Reigns and Lesnar for the Universal Championship. Reigns would have won, you would have thought, but who knows? Because Brock Lesnar just won the WWE Championship. And he's a free agent. It looks like he's going to be on Raw. And, well, hell, maybe the Rumble winner is going to be from SmackDown. Who knows at this point? Raw, SmackDown, maybe McIntyre is going to go after Reigns for all we know. It's going to, as they zoom in on Lashley, okay, they're showing what's to come. It's going to be Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. Yeah. Big E's going to get his rematch at the Rumble. He'll lose. I mean, he had a good, 5-month run after his cash-in. A 1 month short compared to Lashley. I mean, since McIntyre, it's dwindled, 11 months to 6 months. Now a 5-month run. Brock Lesnar is your new WWE champion. Yeah, he's staring down Lashley. So they will have Reigns do whatever the hell Reigns is going to do once he comes back. He'll be defending, and he'll continue to win the Universal title, regardless of who he's facing anyway. It's not going to be Brock Lesnar. So with all that build, we don't get the match, and, they're going to hold off. And what happens with Heyman? Does the wise man go back to the bloodline, or does the advocate return and help out the beast incarnate? I mean, Heyman's got his pick. They're both champions. Few replays. I mean, I'm not shocked Lesnar won. It's just, I honestly really didn't think they'd pull the trigger and actually fucking do it, but they did. Lesnar's your new WWE champion. So, well, talk about ratings, all they're worried about. Yeah, tune into Raw Monday. That gives them a reason to, sell the red brand. No offense, to Big E, Bobby Lashley, The Miz, or Drew McIntyre the past month. But Brock Lesnar's Brock Lesnar. End the story. So, closing credits, 10 till. About 3 hours in here. At least for this stream. A 2-hour, 50-minute show. But Brock Lesnar, your winner. Brock Lesnar, your new WWE champion. And they fade to black. So, that does it for WWE Day 1. Good show. Very good show. Which, honestly, to be honest with you, was a little bit of a surprise. And I don't even know what the hell's coming up next on the network on Peacock, but I'm going to exit out of that and watch this second half of the Sugar Bowl. And then full NFL slate tomorrow. Now, I was, but I wasn't. I didn't, like I said, think they'd actually pull the trigger. So, yeah. They did, and yeah, Lesnar's your new champion. What a start to the year. I mean, earlier today, he was still supposed to face Reigns for the Universal title. If I'm them with Reigns, right now, I honestly don't know what I do with him. I mean, you're going to have him hold the title and continue to win and win and win. But, who are you going to put up against him? Honestly, who the hell are you going to put up against Roman Reigns right now? I know who they're going to put up against Lesnar. It's going to be Lashley. And Big E took the pin. Big E took the pin. Talk about Reigns here real quick, just for a second, because with Lesnar's win earlier today, he was still supposed to face Reigns for the Universal title, but now he's the WWE champion. They could still, have him face off and unify the titles, but you have two brands. You need to sell Raw more than you need to sell SmackDown. Unifications, even if it's on the table, it's off the table. Don't even go there. I know I've brought up a few times, but I mean, those were just possibilities. Don't do it because it's stupid. If you had one show, then okay. Or if everybody was on one show as it was, but what's the point of the draft or the shakeup anymore then at that point? No. You have two champions. They need to really work the U.S. and Intercontinental Championship into the fold because that's gone stale. Hell, I don't even know who the women's tag team champions are right now. Those have just, disappeared. The whole entire women's division is in flux. And, I mean, you have a few decent singles feuds or even tag team feuds. But you're breaking up all your tag teams, it seems like, for the most part, for a few of them. And RK Bro is going to be the next. To have them feud with one another. I mean, and that makes sense. A few of the other ones, though, and thank God AJ is off by himself again. They finally realized that Almost can't wrestle, and all he is a Raw Underground bodyguard. And along with Madcap Moss, whether they think he's a giant or not, they're both going to be cut sometime soon. I'm not saying I'd hope, want to see anybody lose their job by any means, but when they're not necessarily worthless, but you don't have anything for them to do, even though you do think you have something for them to do, and that's not the 24/7 championship. By God, just know, that's there's right now only a few good things about the WWE. But hell, I couldn't even tell you, other than Roman Reigns and now Brock Lesnar as your WWE champion, what those few good things would be. Other than, say, a few superstars with RK Bro. We'll start on Raw. RK Bro, you have AJ Styles, you have Kevin Owens. I mean, of course, Becky and Charlotte are your women's champs. Like I said earlier, though, they need Bayley and Alexa back ASAP. They need to do something with the mid-card scene. You have Edge and Miz going at it. But is there anybody else? The answer is no. Not worth mentioning, at least. Jesus Christ, no. And then SmackDown, like, I guess, yeah, you want to go back to... Well, probably not, so I'm not even going to bring it up. Like, Drew McIntyre is going to be in line for Reigns. Sheamus, potentially. Even Ridge Holland. It seems like they're building them up. But more as a tag team than not. So, like, I don't know. You know, Shinsuke would make sense, but, you know, just to have him lose the Intercontinental Championship and then to have him lose the Reigns, like, because this is going to go back and it's going to bite him in the ass with everybody they fired. Because they had enough guys to do this or that, but all to save a buck. All for the con man, right? Yeah, so I mean, maybe Veer. He's still coming. He's been fucking walking a step a day for the past few months. You know, he'll be in line for something when he finally arrives. No, what's going to happen with him? He'll show up. He'll wrestle once. They'll keep him off of TV. And then he'll be nowhere to be found. Believe me, that's exactly what will happen. You know, Jinder's on Big Sky. I mean, maybe Jinder for Reigns. It's been, what, 4 or 5 years since he had a, you know, title run. And that was a shock when, of course, he beat Orton. No, but yeah, we'll see what they do with Reigns now. Maybe Woods, since he won King of the Ring. Yeah, honestly, maybe Woods. But as we look ahead, I think the Royal Rumble winner is going to come. And this might not make any sense, but from Raw. And then they'll go to SmackDown to challenge Reigns. Because Lashley is going to challenge Lesnar for the WWE title. And the question is, too, how much longer, or how much in general, is Lesnar going to be around as a WWE champion now? You know, because I can already hear people bitching about that. I mean, to win the Royal Rumble, in no particular order, I would think right now, 4 weeks away, my picks would be AJ Styles. Hell, even Bobby Lashley, just to give him a reason to challenge Lesnar. You know, to play it safe that way. I would hate to see that, but, you know, because that could go to somebody else when you already have penciled in that this is what you're going to do. So just fucking say it. This is what we're going to do. You know, Finn Balor, Kevin Owens. Rollins. You know, those would be your winners for the Rumble. Slim pickings, because they don't have many people left. they don't after everybody they've gotten rid of recently. Like, there is a big drop-off after the main event scene, unfortunately. But they're still trying to build up, you know, from what's underneath there. So, yeah, good show. I thought it was a good show. I did. It was better than I thought it was going to be. I'll say that. Could have been better, as always. You know, it was interesting. First ever day one. It's January the 1st. Happy New Year, everyone, once again. But, yeah, it was pretty predictable till the main event, as RK Bro and the Usos both retained their Raw and SmackDown Tag Team Championships, respectively, over the Street Profits and New Day. Drew McIntyre picked up the win. Edge defeated The Miz. As Beth Phoenix came out, it looks like they're going to get a mixed tag team match with the four of them, Edge and Beth, Miz and Maurice, come Royal Rumble time. And then, you know, probably have the rubber match at Mania. Becky Lynch retained her Raw Women's Championship as well over Liv Morgan in the main event of the evening. And in the main event that we just saw, as it ended up being almost about a 3-hour show. At one point in time, this WWE Championship match for day one was only supposed to be a singles match with Big E and Seth Rollins. It turned into triple threat with Kevin Owens, then turned into Fatal 4 with Bobby Lashley after he defeated all three of them on Raw a few weeks back. And then we were also, of course, supposed to have a Universal Championship match tonight, but Roman Reigns out because of COVID, not wrestling. We'll see when he returns and what they'll have in store for him now, especially with the outcome of this main event, as Brock Lesnar was inserted into the fold. And, of course, at that point in time, made it a Fatal 5-way, and then the Beast Incarnate picked up the win, pinning the WWE Champion and winning the WWE Championship once again here in 2022 now. And Brock Lesnar is your new WWE Champion, defeating Big E, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, and Bobby Lashley, and then him and Lashley really stared each other down post-match. So it seems to me the direction they'll be headed towards there. So we'll see what happens in the WWE as they got a few weeks to build now towards Royal Rumble on Raw and SmackDown the next few weeks. I'll be watching. I'll have a few streams, of course, as always, live here on YouTube, so be sure to tune back in, including with the Rumble 4 weeks from tonight. But it'll be interesting to say the least, so there's not really much else to be said. I'll leave it with that. So just once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. As always, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. And Happy New Year to everyone out there once again. And Brock Lesnar, the Beast Incarnate, is your new WWE Champion. He pins and defeats the champion Big E clean, 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring. Also defeating Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, and Bobby Lashley in the process of the victory as well. So, yeah, we'll see what happens, and we'll see what they do. But yeah, it's looking like Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley 3 months from now at WrestleMania 38. But I think it's going to be even more interesting what they do with Reigns. But even at the end of the day, he's still not going to be losing the title anyway. And it's going to be interesting, like I said, too, with Heyman. With even just getting fired by the Bloodline, he's got his pick. I mean, he could be playing both sides. That's off the table now, too, because unless they're going to unify the titles, they're going totally different directions now with that. They scrapped that. That's done with. It seems to me it's done with. You know, they could always come back to it another time. Because, hell, Lesnar could hold the title for a week, a month, and then go back to SmackDown and challenge Reigns again. You know, and you go right back to it. And then that would get people thinking, like, what the hell? Like, come on now. Like, he was just here. Now he's here. Like, quit confusing us. But that's what they do. That's how they do it. So I want to be shocked, but, you know, I highly doubt it. It seems to me that's scrapped with what they just did for the past month or so. That's done with. They don't care. They're moving on. They got business to take care of. They'll worry about the rest of it, when the dust settles. Yeah, so I feel it's going to be even more interesting to see what happens with Reigns and then even Paul Heyman. But I think with Heyman, it'd be smart for them to put him with Lesnar. Because, you can't have Roman Reigns on TV say, by the way, you're fired. And then you attack him. And then you have no send-off. You have nothing to finalize this with Reigns and Lesnar, because unfortunately Reigns got COVID. They never had the match, and then you have Lesnar win the other championship. How does that make any sense? It doesn't. Okay, it doesn't, but that's just how it is. So we got to live with it, whether we like it or not. And Lesnar's gonna have a challenger in Bob Lashley, and Reigns will get whoever the big dog wants. But whoever it is, he's gonna win. Roman Reigns, unless they got The Rock coming in, which I doubt, because they're going to save that for next year. But they could be pulling the trigger on it now. Vince saying, I need you now. Screw your movie schedule. Here's a blank check. You tell me what I owe you later, and let's do business. Because potentially that could be it. They do Lesnar and Lashley, and Reigns is sitting there coming back from COVID. I don't have anybody to fight. Nobody wants to challenge me. And then, if you smell what The Rock's cooking. So, I doubt it. I would be surprised if The Rock came back sometime soon. And if he did, well, you would think that it's going to be at the Royal Rumble. And then, he would do the Saudi show and be on the road to WrestleMania. And at the end of the day, whether Rock comes back now or this time next year, Roman Reigns needs to beat him. Okay? Reigns needs to go on, hell, he's already on a 1.5-year title run. He needs, at this rate, to go on a 2.5, 3-year title reign. Believe me, that is what they need to do with Reigns. Because there's nobody out there right now that's going to stop him. It wouldn't be believable enough. It'd be shocking, but it wouldn't be believable enough. People would riot like there's no tomorrow. So, yeah, we'll see. We will see. And that's why, of course, they're on however many nights a week, and the pay-per-views seems like every night. And, continue to build towards whatever they're building towards. And next it'll be Royal Rumble. They should have a Saudi show in February sometime. And then maybe another pay-per-view in March. And then it's WrestleMania 38. And I'll have more live watch long reactions live here on YouTube then, so be sure to tune back in. Be sure to go check out some recent published videos from events I've attended live in living color. From anything from, a wrestling house show to a wrestling TV, whether that be with AEW or the WWE, along with more videos to be published over the next few months as well on this road to WrestleMania that we're about to kick off. So, be sure to keep an eye out for more videos in the near future. And, as always, just once again, want to say thank you for tuning in and listening here tonight for my WWE Day 1 live watch along audio only reactions live right here on YouTube. So, your only title change was Brock Lesnar winning the WWE Championship for the however many time he's done it now. Which was a little bit of a surprise, but at the end of the day, wasn't a surprise whatsoever. It's Brock Lesnar, for God's sake. So, Brock Lesnar's your new WWE champion. Looks like it'll be him and Lashley. And we'll see what happens with Roman Reigns and his Universal Championship as we move ahead as well. But that does it for WWE Day 1. So, yeah, once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. Hope you tune back in tomorrow for some NFL live watch along reactions live here on YouTube. And then also on Monday for NFL Monday Night Football and WWE Monday Night Raw. Be interesting to see how Raw is with Lesnar as WWE champion again. And then, of course, in the next week, we'll have AEW move over to TBS. So we'll be on for that Dynamite following New Year's Smash from this past week. And then NFL playoffs about to begin with this college football bowl season and the season in general wrapping up here shortly. But yeah, just be sure to like, follow, and subscribe as always on social media. Links in the description below. The easiest way to stay up to date is, in fact, on social media. So be sure to subscribe. And once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. Brock Lesnar, your new WWE champion, defeating Big E, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, and Bobby Lashley in tonight's Fatal 5-Way main event to close out and kick off WWE Day 1 here in 2020.